are the keepers of the wild. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving the natural landscapes that define our nation. Nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters. Together with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
When a parent struggles with addiction or dies from a drug overdose, what happens to their children? Far too many end up in foster care, unable to ever return to their birth homes because it's simply not safe. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is fighting the clock so that teens don't age out of foster care, leaving them at a higher risk of addiction and other negative outcomes that can happen to a child without the love and stability of a permanent family. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Yes! I finally got my first phone!
It is exciting. Let's learn a few things about online safety first.
We can secure our world. Online security depends on you and me. Install updates, make better passwords. Think before you click, use multiple factors. That's how we can secure our world.
Learn more at CISA.gov/secure our world.
To battle is to fight, to struggle, to overcome, and ultimately for the Marine Corps, it means to win. There is no alternative. It's not just a statement of intent. It's a promise to our nation. A promise kept for more than 2 centuries. A promise of the Marines.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton. I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
At the Veterans Health Administration, we provide life-changing care to over 9 million veterans across more than 1,200 facilities nationwide.
Our hands are busy, competent, skilled, healing, helping, and friendly. A place where diverse teams come together.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. Back to sports. The early game with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Good morning, early game crew. Rise and shine. It's time to start another week. I'm Elijah Campbell. He's Preston Thorne. He's Cale Wilson filling in for Jen Jensen today. And I have good news and bad news. Preston Thorne, would you like to receive the good news first or the bad news first?
I'm a bad news.
Uh-oh. Microphone issue. Is Preston's microphone buttons on up at the top?
Mic check 1. There we go.
There we go. All right.
I'm a bad news first guy.
Okay. Bad news first guy?
I'm a bad news first guy.
I think I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm definitely the same way.
Because I like to give me the bad news, and I like to spiral. I'll spiral out of control, too. I can't even hear the good news anymore after that. And if you give me the good news first, as soon as you give me the bad news, the good news is out the window. So that's my personality.
Okay. And if the good news is good enough, then that might at least maybe...
It depends on how bad the bad news is.
Fix the blow of the bad news a little bit.
Spiraler.
Oh, no. All right, well, here we go. Bad news first.
Okay.
South Carolina Gamecocks get swept again.
Oh, okay. But here's another part of my personality, though. I'm a prepper. I've been prepared for this.
Okay.
I had my canned goods. I knew the lights were going out. The generator was ready. I was prepared for a sweep this weekend. So even though it came, I was pleasantly prepared.
That's right. So, yeah, the apocalypse is happening. You have a bunker that you're in, and you're like, this isn't as bad as I thought.
There you go.
12-game losing streak. we have tied it for, I guess, the worst since 1961.
Mm-hmm.
You end 15th in the SEC.
As noted, as reported by early season prognosticators.
They are who we thought they were. Now you're ready for the good news.
Okay.
This is the last regular season series. You cannot get swept in a series anymore this year. So if you have hung out and you've been chilling, you've been cheering on this team all season long, and you have lived through getting swept at Florida, and you lived through, the firing, getting swept at Georgia, you lived through, getting swept by Mississippi State at home, you powered through in getting swept at LSU, swept at home against Alabama, swept on the road at Vanderbilt. It can be exhausting as a fan. It can be absolutely exhausting to commit your weekend to watching a baseball team that is getting swept. And I understand that, and I feel for you. But my good news here is that this is the last regular season series. The next regular season series that you have will be with a new baseball coach and a new direction of the program, where hopefully it is adequately sold to you that there are brighter days ahead.
Yes, we will be able to turn the page on this very dark chapter, the darkest chapter of Gamecock. Not a very dark chapter, the absolute worst chapter of Gamecock baseball in history. You're not always alive to witness history.
You're not, no.
And so
I wasn't alive during 1961.
And so when history happens, you have to at least appreciate the moment that, hey, I was there. And you can tell your kids, hopefully when we're going back to Omaha and we're winning a bunch of games, you be like, and they'll be like, Daddy, what was it like when Paw took over the team? You can be like,
tell me a story about the bad days here at South Carolina. I was there when there was nobody in the stadium.
Yeah, when the Founders Park is packed to the gills and it's standing room only because bombs are flying out of left and right, you'd be like, it wasn't always like this. Way back in 2026.
Imagine telling your kid you're in the line trying to get Dippin' Dots here at this baseball game, and the line's really long, and your
Dippin' Dots are still the future of ice cream.
The same way soccer is still is the sport of the future in America. The same way. It has been the future of ice cream for like 30 or 40 years, maybe longer. I just know it's been that way my entire life. I cannot speak on if that was the branding pre-1990s.
I agree. Same.
But it is my entire life.
It's going to revolutionize the game.
It has been trying to revolutionize the game. They do a great job because I love Dippin' Dots, but I don't know if they ever fulfilled that promise. The same way, again, soccer is the sport of the future in America. But we're going to be standing in line to get your kid those Dippin' Dots, and they're going to say, oh, Dad, Mom, why is this line so long? And you're like, hey, I don't want to hear any complaining, because when the line wasn't long, you were losing record games here at this stadium. You're going to remember this fondly. This is a good time to be standing in a long line.
Exactly. Can't wait to complain about long lines and packed stadiums.
We would love those champagne problems here.
Because we don't have them now.
No. At Vanderbilt, you did get beat by a combined score of 23-9 over 3 games. 9-1 loss on Friday, a 9-5 loss on Saturday, or not Friday. Thursday was the 9-1 loss.
Don't you coin that the Dolly Parton?
That is the Dolly Parton loss. And now here's your fun fact of the day. That's the 3rd time they've been Dolly Parton this year.
Okay.
They have been Dolly Parton by Army, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt.
All right.
0-3 in Dolly Parton games.
Never on the good side.
You're never on you're always on the 5 side, not the 9, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of getting 9-5, that has happened to you. You've won 3 Dolly Parton awards, but none of them are the good Dolly Parton awards.
No, you never on the positive side of that thing. I mean, again, as I said at the initial part of this, I'm not surprised. And if you've been watching the team, especially as we've gone through this downward spiral here, you probably shouldn't be surprised either.
No.
Because it's just very difficult to play when there's nothing on the line and there's nothing anchoring you to this season. All the things that have gone wrong this season. I'm sure when these players transferred here, when they came here, they didn't come here to play in a failing program. They were sold the idea that they were going to be part of a turnaround. That didn't happen. The coach gets fired. You're losing. It's very difficult to motivate yourself to play in these circumstances. And so I can't say that I'm surprised. And it's not even a matter of like quitting or anything like that. It's just, man, it's just hard to do it when there's really nothing out there for you to play for.
Yeah, it can be tough. And I can imagine that this is, once you got into this point of the season and your struggles have been so public, like that's the thing too. I mean, when you joined this team, again, like you said, you didn't join this team to be at the bottom of the SEC. You did so in hopes of being in competition for some meaningful baseball at this point of the year.
As happens frequently, the voice of Lou Holtz just came into my mind because he told us when we were coming off in our 0-11 season, there's only two reasons why you joined the South Carolina. Either your damn ass is a loser or you want to be surrounded by losers. So I don't think they had that mentality when it came to...
I don't think so. I don't think they did.
Either you're a loser or you want to be surrounded by losers. We were 0-11. It's kind of right. Had to change things.
Could you imagine, though, like getting that scholarship being like, you know what? That actually kind of looks fun. But you join this team not to be at the bottom of the SEC. So when things go wrong early on, and then there's a lot of very public clamoring for your coach to be fired. And now the reporting that we got from John Whittle last year, I think there was a lot of already pre-baked in tension between, maybe some returning players and Paul. I'll never be able to fully speak on that because I'm not in the locker room, but I trust the reporting that has been done. So you have that friction. You have the struggles. Your coach is fired early on in the season. Monty takes over. You have a little bit of a rejuvenation and energy, but then the losses keep stacking up. Finding motivation, I can imagine, and is human nature here, could be incredibly difficult during a season like that.
And this is why I said this is how it's a little bit different during the NIL era, because there's not, even if I go back to that time period when they were 0-11, because I wasn't there that year.
Said
I came
they,
the next
not
year.
we.
Wasn't we. But those players were building a foundation. There was an idea around that, hey, if you come and join part of this, we're going upwards. I know it doesn't seem like it right now. I know it feels, it's whatever the case, but we are going upwards because we are all in this together. During the NIL era, there's no French being spoken around here.
No.
It's no we. Because everybody is looking for a way out. Players, coaches, staff, everybody involved is looking to see what their next move is going to be. Is it going to be here? It might be, but more than likely, it's going to be somewhere else. And so just the connectedness of a team when you're losing like that, it's just not going to be there because we're all looking for the exit ramp.
That's right. Like you have a mouse in your pocket? Who's we? Right.
It's not we.
Yeah, not I. Is there a lesson to be taken from this? Well, Monty Lee talked about this. We cut 4, Kale. Is there a lesson that you can learn here in a 12-game losing streak that maybe is something that you can take with you once this baseball season is done?
Yeah, I do. I think that confidence is so important in baseball. I think it's so critical in baseball that, that you show up every day and you find a way to play with confidence. I think our team can compete with anybody. We've shown that when we're confident and when we play together. And, we've been kicked in the teeth a good bit. And when you wake up every day, if you're a little down in the dumps based on how you're playing and how the team's playing, it can really affect how you play overall as a team. And it's just been challenging. I think that's the biggest thing is if you can find a way to not worry so much about all the outside noise when things aren't going well and just show up and play the game the way that you know how to play the game and play it because you love it and you got a chance to do some things. So we just got to find a way to go out and enjoy competing and hopefully that's the lesson that these guys will take from this season moving forward for all of them.
So confidence is the big thing. Especially in 2026, especially when you're at a program where people do really care, you're going to be under more of a microscope. Your team will be the topic of discussion on shows like this and internet forums and everything. I can imagine it is very hard to escape. But to quote Don Draper, that's what the money's for.
Correct.
Right? You have to find your motivation somewhere and find a way to block out whatever you can to make sure that those type of mistakes that you make and throughout the course of a 12-game losing streak don't pile up and compound on themselves. That's how you get to where this is right now. And if you just listen to Monty speak, I think that's probably the thing he's been trying to battle the most, is get these guys to understand you can play ball. You're here for a reason. It can be really hard to get that message across in this type of season.
Yeah, because it's the loop. I talk about this loop all the time, and it's the one concept that's made one of the concepts that's made the most sense to me. It's the confidence-competence loop, and they feed off each other. You don't just get confidence out of nowhere. You get confidence because you're competent. And when you're not competent because you're striking out 11 times a game, you have a 14 ERA, you've lost 12 games in a row, ain't no confidence going to be found anywhere. You can't just wake up and today I'm going to be a great baseball player, because all that past season has proven that you are not. And so confidence follows competence. You just can't make it.
Your brain is wired to be logical, right? It could be hard to wake up and be like, you know what? We're going to win an SEC series today. And your brain's like, when was the last time you done that?
Today I am going to be a great hitter today. And your brain's like, it's not what that 175 that never tells us. It just doesn't work like that.
You want to know some signs of improvement? I did the math. You averaged fewer than 11 strikeouts a game in the series.
There you go.
How about that?
Feed your brain. Feed your brain. So I understand the idea of confidence, but it has to come from you being competent first. And the more competent you get, the more confidence you get. And the more confident you are, the more competent you. And it just goes around in this big loop until all of a sudden you spin yourself into depths, into greatness, because you all of a sudden start to believe you can do things that maybe you can't do. But because you have a little bit of confidence in yourself, you do things that maybe are above your actual skill level. You then
become the master clockmaker, where you have created the clock and you don't have to touch it anymore because it's running on its own. Mm-hmm. That's the magic right there. But you got to be able to get those results to start first. But coming up next, though, we'll turn our attention to other games that happen across the country that we have our eye on. Some interesting results featuring possible South Carolina baseball coaching candidates. We'll keep you updated on what happened with those series and whether or not any of them ended up becoming intriguing to us. One of mine certainly did. I'll tell you what it is next here on the early game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
If the Gamecocks hit a grand slam, you can win cash. It's the Crescent Construction Grand Slam giveaway. If the Gamecocks don't hit a grand slam, the pot goes up $25 a game. Just go to 1075thegame.com to register. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
Pressing here for our folks at AAA Heating and Air. Listen, the high today will be 90. I predict that you may not see another high lower than 90 for the rest of the year. So what does that mean? That means the folks from AAA Heating and Air are going to need to help you out. What can they help you out with? Obviously, your home comfort, because that is their top priority. Don't wait for the heat to go up, because it will, and you need to call them folks so that your AC is running and it's up to task. The expert technicians are there. They're ready to get your system in prime condition with a thorough seasonal inspection and cleaning. If you want even more peace of mind, ask about the AAA Comfort Club, where members enjoy priority scheduling, flexible visits, and exclusive discounts. Take your comfort to the next level and beat the heat before it hits. It's starting today. Call AAA Heating in There at 803-920-3771. That's 803-920-3771.
There's people that go their whole education without having an African-American teacher. So when I received my lottery-funded life scholarship, I knew I wanted to choose a school that had the Call Me Mr. program. Their mission is to recruit and retain teachers to be those role models for students in underserved areas. And that's what I want to do for my students.
More role models means a better South Carolina. And a better South Carolina means a better you. Visit seeducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Plus tax, tags, and title with approved credit. Call 866-243-4623 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new Jeeps and Rams. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. The sale to end all sales. 378 Lexington and Greystone Boulevard. Declaration of Deal Sales Event.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Like our original gold-rimmed Bluebell homemade vanilla, the country's gold standard of ice cream flavors since 1969. Its hand-cranked taste takes you back to simpler times. That's why we put the word home right on the carton.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Piggly Wiggly and IGA supermarkets.
Hey, y'all, Jay Phillips for our good friends at Integrated Media. I know it's summertime and you're thinking about baseball or the beach or the lake or the pool, but let's face it, it's always football season around here. And soon enough, real football season will be upon us. Now is the right time to call Integrated Media and get that home theater system of your dreams installed ahead of the big kickoff rush. 803-948-8327. One room, whole house, indoors, outdoors. Nobody better when it comes to home theater than my good friends at Integrated Media.
Hey, guys, it's Jay Phillips for the Men's Clinic. You're not feeling like yourself as you get older? You're wondering why? Don't wait for it to change or go away. Instead, see Dr. Dan Balknight and his team at the Men's Clinic. You'll have a one-on-one consultation that gets to the root of the issues and gets you back to feeling like you used to. No such thing as a one-size-fits-all treatment at the Men's Clinic. Call them up for a free consultation, 803-875-MENS, and learn more online at themensclinicsc.com.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson giving you a look at the traffic for the first time this morning. So far, no accidents to report. We've got long-term road construction in Richland County on Atlas Road, Bluff Road, Blythewood Road, Broad River Road, I-26 between Bush River Road and Old Sandy Run Road, and McNulty Street between Blythewood Road and Main Street. And then we've got long-term road construction in Horry County on Highway 701 between Wetlands, Industrial Drive and Conway Bypass, and Lexington County on I-20 between Sunset Boulevard and Bush River Road. Your forecast for today, clear with a high of 92 degrees and a low of 68.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
We're not going to sit here and cry over spilled milk. My favorite colloquialisms. Southern colloquialisms. But what we will do is see if maybe we can find hints of hope for the future with the way other coaching candidates have conducted themselves with their teams over the weekend. And there's some interesting results, Preston Thorne. Do we want to go to the Sun Belt or do we want to go to the Big 12 first?
Fun Belt, please.
Fun Belt. Coastal Carolina. Kevin Schnall is maybe the number one name on most top boards. I've been pretty adamant that I think the first call that you should probably make is to Kevin Schnall. I would love to make shirts that say Better Call Schnall, but I don't know if I can get the licensing for that. But Coastal had a series in Louisiana, in Lafayette, where they end up dropping 2 of 3 to lose the Sun Belt title.
Uh-oh.
Because Southern Miss won their series And by one game, Southern Miss wins the Sun Belt.
Distracted by the Twitter smoke?
Maybe. There's definitely a lot of Twitter smoke.
Which can mean everything or absolutely nothing.
And I've talked to a few people, not a ton yet, because I do believe DC's reporting that it's going to take a little bit. So I haven't been super eager with reaching out, but I've reached out to a few people. And one person I did talk to that I know is pretty well connected to it says, like, we don't really know anything yet. We'll know when we know, you know. Like, they're pretty, like, the administration's keeping it pretty close to the vest. I have seen rumors that there'd be an announcement from Coastal today. I don't think that is going to have anything to do with Kevin Schnall and the baseball program. Maybe it is. That's just kind of my prediction out there. I don't think we're going to learn anything today about the coaching search.
And the nature of doing the early game is it'll break at 9:15.
Oh, yeah.
The announcement will be
like the news that we're talking about the next segment. Yeah, the basketball assistant coaching news that broke at like 9:01.
Yeah. So we'll get it tomorrow, whatever happens.
Whatever it ends up being, we'll get to it. But who knows? It's one of those things that is, I think this will be a pretty slow build. You have the luxury of being able to reach out first. I do know that they have been doing their due diligence. The search firm is doing their part of background clearing and checking every single coach, making sure there are no skeletons in closets that need to be known about. But we can still, throw out a hot board, throw out some names that we find interesting. Kevin Schnall is one of the most obvious ones, but they did not end the regular season on a high note, right? They end up finishing second in the Sun Belt. They're still going to play postseason baseball, and I think that's really the most important thing here is seeing how well they do in the format and how well they're able to advance, see if they can get back to Omaha, which is certainly an expectation for them. When we go to the Big 12, Kansas did not blow it. They did take 2 of 3 against BYU in Provo. That was good enough to secure the Big 12 title. West Virginia, coached by Steve Sabins, took 2 of 3 from TCU.
And Kansas is coached by Dan Fitzgerald.
Yep, Dan the Man Fitzgerald, who I definitely have very high on mine in terms of I could pick somebody. Especially if I could have anyone that doesn't have SEC experience, I'll take a builder, right? And Dan Fitzgerald is certainly a builder. Steve Sabins has also had a hand as an assistant and as a head coach in terms of building West Virginia to what they are right now, which was a team that almost made a miraculous comeback to win that Big 12 conference.
In my brain, I put Steve Sabins and Kevin Schnall in the same type of category as longtime assistant, finally got their shot, and are doing a great job in the place where they've been.
Going full Hamilton and not throwing away that shot.
That's correct.
Not at all, right? So very similar votes. Baby head coaches, still in the infancy of their head coaching careers, but not throwing away their shot. Dan Fitzgerald's been coaching, I guess, as a head coach, maybe a little bit longer.
Hamilton, 30 minutes too long. Continue.
Maybe longer than 30 minutes.
I get the point. I get it. You're rapping. Presidential history is cool. About 60 minutes and I'm good.
Like, here's the thing. I am not a Hamilton hater. I would like to make that abundantly clear right now. I'm not a hater by any means. But, buddy, in the summer of 2016, the girl I was dating at the time was obsessed with Hamilton. We were going on vacation with my family, but we were driving separately, right? Because we were living in a different part of the state. But I just told my mom and my siblings, hey, we'll meet you in Florida. The entire drive to and fro Preston Thorne. I listened through the entire Hamilton soundtrack like 4 times in the stretch of a week. I never wanted to hear it again.
How long was the drive?
It was like an 8-hour drive.
Oh, gosh.
And it was one of those, there was a playlist on Spotify curated for Hamilton. So all the songs in order plus some additional things. Never wanted to hear it again.
I get it.
I will see it in person. But I never want to hear just the audio track alone again.
I'm with you. I'm sorry for the diversion. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. 45 minutes. Second act, I'm like, all right, man.
We don't need all that. Can we just get to the part where he gets shot?
The rest of the show, the bumper music's just going to be Hamilton.
No, I will.
That's a way not to come back, Kel.
That is. Yeah, that is. That's a way for me to find a magic wand. I do not possess one, but I will find it. And we'll never hear from Kel Wilson again. But in terms of the stuff that happened in the SEC, too, Florida swept LSU, did what they should have done. right, is go to Baton Rouge against a bleeding LSU program and be able to kind of bury them. They finished 4th in the SEC, Florida did. And then Georgia, which for the Florida angle, coached by Kevin O'Sullivan, he fits the on-paper criteria, I think, because of maybe some other things. He might not be a candidate this time the way he might have been 9 years ago, right, when that was a real possibility before they won the College World Series and ended up keeping him around. But that was just something I just wanted to keep a tab on. Georgia, with Will Coggin as the assistant,
it's my guy.
Maybe the biggest name in the assistant coaching world between him and Matt Hobbs from Arkansas, Nolan Cain from Texas. But we've kind of zeroed in on Georgia. They took 2 of 3 at Auburn, and Auburn is a top 10 program right now. So they took 2 of 3, and of course they won the SEC championship. They didn't even really need to do all that. Kind of like the last 45 minutes of Hamilton. You didn't necessarily need all that, but you did it because they had that thing secured before the series started. They were that far ahead of the rest of the field in the SEC. Only scored 5 runs per game in the series, though. The Bats were struggling a little bit against Auburn.
And the thing why we're focused on Will Coggins is because he's the offensive juggernaut, long ball, a lot of runs are scored. So, but for all of the assistant coaches, you can't necessarily pin the direct performance on them. You can look at some different things that might give you some clues as to what they had their hand on, but it's not necessarily them. But it's good to know that they won.
Now, the most impressive result from the weekend, Georgia Tech, who, I mean, they're a buzzsaw. They are an absolute buzzsaw.
They were like 43 and something, 9 or something the last time we saw.
James Ramsey coaching Georgia Tech. They were 43 and 9. They finished season 45 and 9. They swept Boston College. You want to know what the cumulative score of that series was? 38-3.
I like it.
That's a ranked Boston College team on the road. They swept by a combined score of 38-3.
Does not have to be close.
Georgia Tech can win the national championship. Like that team is that good. That is a team that is incredibly high in RPI. I want to say if you're just looking at the RPI rankings, they're second behind UCLA. Only UCLA, who is 28-2 in the Big Ten and 48-6 overall. It goes UCLA, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Texas, North Carolina. That is your top 5 in RPI. Georgia Tech certainly playing like it. They are a buzzsaw. But coming up next, there was an addition made to the men's basketball coaching staff mere minutes after we went off the air on Friday. We'll get our chance to talk about it. And if you're a big-time college basketball fan, this name is going to sound very familiar. We'll tell you who it is coming up next here on the early game.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free.
Pressing here for our friends at Integrated Media. Football season is around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. Why not give the folks from Integrated Media a call so they can get you set up? What does a setup look like? It can be Samsung Terrace TVs that are waterproof, Sonos outdoor speakers for TV and music, Wi-Fi that works indoors and outdoors, or my personal favorite, being able to control all your devices from just one remote. From home theater setup to adjusting your thermostat or monitoring your security system from your cell phone, Integrated Media is the folks that you need to call. So call Nathan and Michael at 803-948-8327. That's 803-948-8327. Or you can reach them online at integratedmediainc.com.
Sponsored by eBay. eBay is home to millions of finds, and each one becomes part of your story. From your favorite vintage band tee to the dream car you've been searching for or the foul ball you heroically gave away. It's all there on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Plus, tax and title with approved credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new JT's Kias. 0% 0% financing, and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia, the sale to end all sales. JT's Kia, I-77 Killian Road or Greystone Boulevard. Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event.
There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Here's reason 17. In today's new world, many law firms have had money injected into their firms by Wall Street, private equity, and other lenders. This money usually comes in at very, very high interest rates. It's one of the reasons you see so many lawyers advertising. I'm John Morgan. This money is expensive and the interest compounds quickly. These law firms can have a huge need for cash just to pay that debt. Why does it matter to you? My fear is your case is settled early and for far less than it's worth, just to service the loan that has mafia-like rates. Our financial strength is your advantage. That plus our reputation makes our firm your firm. Visit forthepeople.com to see our results and verdicts. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Joe Standifer, Esquire, 11915 Plaza Drive, Suite 301, Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, 29576.
Discover the Griffin difference. Griffin Pools and Spas is your headquarters for family fun and outside enjoyment. We offer Latham fiberglass pools, Imperial vinyl pools, above ground pools, spas by Bullfrog, Marquee, Tropic Season Generations, and swim spas, the Big Green Egg, all things Yeti and Turtle Box Gen 3, Ranger, and Grande Bluetooth speakers. We sell fun. Come see us and get summer ready today. Discover the Griffin difference. Family owned and operated for 50 years.
Griffin Pools and Spas. We make you feel good.
When it comes to family law, a lot has changed in recent years, so assumptions can be costly. If you see or sense a change coming in your family life that could have legal implications, it's important to know where you stand. What are your rights and responsibilities? Getting good legal advice early is never a bad idea. I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. If you or anyone you know is facing a family law issue, start with a consultation. Visit CordellCordell.com.
1201 Main Street, Columbia.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot. Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson giving you another look at the traffic. Still have our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington County. We've got traffic flowing freely in Lexington County on I-20 eastbound between exit 51 and exit 64, but no accidents to report. Good job so far out there on those roads. Looks like a clear day ahead of you with a high of 92 and a low of 68. It's supposed to be in the mid-80s by 10 a.m. and by 2 p.m. it will be in the 90s until 7 p.m. So we will be in the 80s and then the mid-70s this evening.
With former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
You may know him as a shooting guard that helped the Wisconsin Badgers dethrone the undefeated Kentucky Wildcats in the Final Four. You may know him as a former Houston Rockets shooting guard. If you're our boy Walt, who hangs out on our Firehouse Subs text line, you know him as the shooting guard for your favorite basketball team. He did play for the Wizards. And if you live in Europe, you know him as a mainstay in the EuroLeague. But now you know him as assistant basketball coach for the South Carolina Gamecocks. That's Sam Decker. And as soon as we went off the air on Friday, I don't know if it could have been any sooner, Sam Decker was announced that he was going to be the assistant coach or an assistant coach for this South Carolina men's basketball program. Clear connection, because in that aforementioned upset of Kentucky, one of my favorite college basketball games of all time, Sam Decker was playing in the starting lineup. Lamont Paris was an assistant coach on that team, along with Greg Gard, who's now the head coach at Wisconsin. They're both coaching under Bo Ryan, Hall of Fame coach for the Wisconsin Badgers, as they went to the national championship game and lost to Duke. But Sam has now finished his career, played 11 years professionally in the NBA and overseas, and is now fresh off of basically player retirement and going into coaching. Interesting hire. But I think what is beneficial here, Preston Thorne, is that you have maybe a more instant player connection, because a lot of these guys that are coming in are going to have aspirations of playing beyond college. And you can have former players on your staff. It does help to a degree to have somebody who is this fresh off their playing career.
Yeah, absolutely, because I need to be able to watch film of you on YouTube, not in
on VHS tape?
Yeah, not on standard def. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be able to see when you actually played, what was going on, were y'all wearing, how long were the shorts were when y'all were playing, what's going on with you, because that is only relevant because young people can only see relevance that's close to them. And so you have to be able to have somebody, and also somebody who's had success in Lamont's system.
Yes.
That's probably the second most important part, is that somebody who can speak to this system being successful for them, and they can look and see, look at this, look at my draft picks, look at my Euro Cups, look at all this thing that basketball did, and it started with this man's system. That is extremely important for anybody, especially for Lamont, who's trying to sell his system.
And it's the perfect liaison, too. I mean, Lamont,
great word.
During the offseason, when you're trying to implement what your offense is going to be, when you're establishing your defensive principles, Lamont, like most other coaches in basketball, they have a set of defensive rules that they have to go by. That's how you kind of establish a defensive system. Defensive system isn't necessarily all scheme. A lot of it is just a basic foundation of rules that you have to follow, of how you play certain things that can be adjusted game in and game out. But there's a lot of things that Lamont Paris does defensively that they would have done in Wisconsin, at Wisconsin defensively. Lamont Paris is cut from that Bo Ryan cloth. Sam Decker played for him to the point where it was successful enough to get to the NBA and have, again, a 11-year career playing professional basketball. And because this was not ancient history, it wasn't like he played for Lamont in the early 2000s. He played for Lamont Paris 11 years ago, right? He has a great relationship with Lamont. When he got hired, he tweeted out pictures of him and Lamont at Wisconsin. I think what Sam Decker provides, maybe more so, maybe your other assistant coaches will be better at doing some of the advanced scouting, some of the things that actually does take some time in coaching to be able to cut your teeth with and be able to be prepared to do at a high level. So advanced scouting, game plan adjustments, certain things that are tactical in game, you could leave to other assistants. But I think what Sam Decker does perfectly is act as the ideal liaison.
That's a great word.
Coach and player.
Now, here's how he also acts as a liaison between player and coach. Because he's also young enough in the game that he can speak a little bit more of their language. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that maybe Lamont and staff are asking the players to do, he can go back to them privately and say, Coach, that's not going to work. I understand how we did it at Wisconsin, but let me tell you, I thought it was garbage then. And now that I'm a grown man, I could tell you.
These kids think the same thing.
Yeah, I can voice their opinion for them, Or I've played 11 years now, and let me tell you how what we did back then, how modern basketball has tweaked it. So not only is he a liaison from player to coach, but from coach to player, but from player to coach, he can take some of that information back that the young people are telling him and be able to provide it back in a digestible manner. A translator. He's just translating both ways for both sides. He's being able to be a bridge for both people to be able to get their messages across from each other. So, yeah, I do like the archetype of this hire. Also, listen, man, if we're doing a shooting drill, I'm pretty sure Sam can get 8 out of 10 from the three-point line.
He's still getting buckets.
He can still get buckets, and it's important to be able to see that as a player, like, oh, yeah, what he's telling me is not nonsense, because look at it.
When he tells me to tuck my elbow in on my jumper, yeah, that's what it looks like. And guess what? He's still coming out here and giving everybody the business in this run.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, there's a reason this guy was taken in the first round of the NBA draft, right? And one thing I do like, this is maybe like an underrated element of this, is where he's coming from, right? He just got done spending 3 years in Liga ACB, which is the premier basketball league in Spain.
That's Spain.
It's the top division. And the team he played for, Club Joventut Badalona, I definitely botched that, but they've never been relegated. So they've played at that highest level in Spain. And what I love about kind of the evolution of basketball is a lot of trends happen in Europe, especially in that Spanish league, that top flight Spanish league, and they make their way to America. If you looked at that UConn basketball team that won the national championship a couple of years ago, it was their second of the back-to-back. Their offense looked dramatically different. And I've watched plenty of videos where it was Luke Murray, who was the assistant for UConn, now the head coach at Boston College. Yes, that is Bill Murray's son. Said he took a lot of their offense, or Danny Hurley has said he took a lot of their offense from Luke Murray watching EuroLeague basketball and watching the Euro Cup. And a lot of the sets that they ran, they just took straight from there. A lot of trends that you see in basketball, especially in the NBA right now. You go watch the NBA right now. Watch how guys try to get their three-point shooters open. It's a lot of twirl cuts and rescreening and flipping angles on screens, all of it off ball. That started in Europe. So having somebody who was playing over there maybe could be a tactical advantage too, because say, hey, Lamont, when I was in Spain, we added this wrinkle to this play, and we were getting a backdoor cut every time, or we were freeing up our three-point shooters every single time. Something that can be beneficial. Even though he is very new to coaching, he is still allowing himself, because of his basketball experience, being fresh off of it, to still be on the cutting edge of a lot of offensive stuff.
Yeah, and being that he's had to learn what the language, the international language of basketball, he's going to be able to talk to some of those guys here. We're making a European push, right? So he's going to be able to maybe speak a little bit of that language, the international basketball language. I just like I said, I really do like the archetype of having somebody in the building who understands the game from a various different angles, and somebody who's fresh, who has a fresh perspective on what basketball is now.
And I like that he's not being asked to be like the lead assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you made other assistant coaching hires, and you're allowing him to fill a very specific role on this staff. And it's something that I think that could be neat. I'm excited for him, too, to start his coaching journey. Yeah, your first coaching job being an assistant in the SEC, that's a tough first job. That is a tough and demanding first job, especially when it comes to hitting the recruiting trail.
Oh, baptism by fire, for sure.
Yeah, it absolutely will. But I think his basketball experience lends it to allowing him to have a different angle on this coaching staff that he can handle with players that at least you're not going to find a lot of other places, especially in terms of the connection that he's got with Coach Paris. But coming up next, a former Gamecock made a triumphant return to Columbia on Friday. Cale Wilson was in the house, but we will discuss it next here on the early game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
This is Bill Gunner with 107.5 The Game and The Game Network. If you run a diner, bakery, coffee shop, burger joint, pizza spot, or that hidden gem everybody should know about, how would you like to get the word out about your business without spending a dime? Well, we got you. All you have to do is text your name, your business, and your phone number to 803-404-6100. That's 803-404-6100. And we'll be in touch. There's no catch. Times are tough, and we're here just trying to help you get folks in the door of your business.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Cavaliers stomped the Pistons in game number 7 to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, their first in 8 years. 125-34, the final. The 31-point win is the 8th largest in a game 7. Waiting for Cleveland now in the Eastern Conference Finals is the New York Knicks. A lot of attention is going to be paid to the Thunder-Spurs series out west, but don't sleep on this series. A lot of offense between Cleveland and New York. Should be fun. I'm Dan Dad.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one.
As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 9 plant protein bars, 8 hydration mixes, and 4 mushroom coffee sticks. And now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text RADIO to 64,000. Text RADIO to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's RADIO to 64,000.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on brakes?
We mark Duralast brake pads down to free.
Free Duralast brake pads?
When you buy 2 rotors.
Can I get Duralast Gold pads for free?
With 2 Duralast Gold rotors, and there's a lifetime warranty on brake pads.
That's a huge markdown for like so many miles.
Save on brakes and more during Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by Grammy Award nominee Lil Yachty and Cocky the mascot, he is the United States champion and Colombia's very own Trick Williams!
Just try to contain that smile, Trick. The famous quote, "You can't go home again," does not apply here.
Oh, man. Joe Tessitore. On the mic, too.
They almost got my boy. My boy Trick almost broke, man. If you watch the video, he's coming in, he just kind of lets out a little grin. He's like, I think it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, out of all the places he's traveled, that's the one where it's going to be 100% of people that are there to see him.
Yeah, it's 1,000%. But we weren't there, and we happened to have our special boots on the ground reporter, Kale. Can you give us the live energy report on what the building felt like when our boy Trick Williams stepped into the building?
Yeah, so I went with 6 of my friends. It was awesome. I mean, we grew up watching WWE all when we were younger. And so we went because we knew a few people from our childhood were going to be there, and we wanted to see Trick Williams. And the energy when he entered that building was one of the loudest crowd pops I've ever heard. I mean, it wasn't Williams-Brice, but in a basketball arena, it is one of the loudest crowd pops I've heard in my entire life.
And for people who are not wrestling fan, a crowd pop is when the crowd goes wild for somebody entering the building.
Correct. Correct.
This is just for the folks who may not know.
Two types of crowd pops. There's the planned crowd pop, which is when somebody enters like the ring or anything like that. And then in sports, if something crazy happens that is unexpected, different type of crowd pop.
Correct.
Two classifications.
So for almost all of my friends, it was their first WWE event ever. This was my fourth. My first one was in 2011, and it was the loudest I've ever heard it.
That's awesome.
And what was really funny was the promos, right? So the guy he fought his name is Mike Mizanin, his name is The Miz. He's one of the guys.
The Miz. Okay.
He was one of the guys that fought when me and my friends were growing up. So we knew who he was.
Shout out to Road Rules.
Yeah. And of course, he was doing the whole promo playing the villain thing, but the people will still talk to the crowd when it goes to commercial break. So no one knew this, but when he basically in the promo he was talking about, this city's a dump or whatever, because they got to try to make the crowd
classics. I like it.
It goes to commercial. And he's walking around saying, if I see one more Trick Williams sign, I'm going to beat everyone up in the arena, and I'm going to beat everyone. I'm going to beat Trick Williams up even more in front of his mama. And then he goes, oh, my gosh, it's a Miz sign that says, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, kid. Thank you. And the best line that made everyone boo like crazy, it said, if I see one more Trick Williams sign, I'm packing all my stuff up and I'm moving to Clemson, South Carolina.
Nice.
Oh, he's playing the
Read the
crowd.
scout report.
Everyone.
Good job. Good job.
So loud
Good job.
at him.
See, what the Miz doesn't know is that everyone in Columbia thinks this place is a dump too. So he doesn't. You can't beat us with that. We already live here. You can't tell us about our old city. Don't tell us about that. I like that. Those are classics.
Classic jobber.
It's like, hey, it may be a dump, but it's ours. You can't come in here and call it a dump.
Correct. Talk about our city like
Only
that.
we can talk bad about our city.
Yeah. Nice job, man. Again, what a triumph for Mofa. And I just can't think about the idea of, like, I assume Mr. and Mrs. Belton were in the audience. His last name is Belton. Sorry to break the fourth wall there. But I assume his parents were just...
his name is not actually Trick Williams.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry. My bad, Kale.
Sorry, kids.
It's going to be okay.
WWE as a character?
It's going to be okay.
I would have never known.
Can you just imagine just seeing that for your child? You're like, what in the world is happening here?
Could you? Yeah, I can't imagine. Especially like they're all chanting his name, and you heard Kale talk about just how loud it got in there, and you could hear it from that clip too, just how loud it got. Like just a really cool.
Yeah, and to be from the city and be a Gamecock, Cocky's out there with them. They have the jersey.
They've never done anything like that in WWE where they brought out the mascot.
You have to do that. Big moment.
What I wanted to see was like if you could get Cocky in there to tag team and have Cocky jump from the ropes, like put like a wrestler in a Cocky suit.
That would have been so
someone who's trained to be able to do that
and funny.
We would have to get a new roof at Colonial Life Arena if that were to happen, because the roof would have literally been blown off at that point.
It was so crazy because the pop when he came out was louder than when Cody Rhodes popped out. And Cody Rhodes is like the face of that show.
The American Nightmare, correct?
Yes, him and Randy Orton. Randy unfortunately wasn't there, but I genuinely think that even if Randy Orton came out, it wouldn't have been as loud as when Trick came out.
Yeah.
Not a wrestling expert by any means, but I do know Triple H is a big deal. And he did tweet about it. He was like, talk about a homecoming.
He's
and
the like, deal.
Yeah. And when you get his attention, then you've done something pretty special. So
I have a feeling that because of that whole crowd pop and all that energy, that WWE might come back to Columbia sooner than you would think.
I think so. Especially if Trick Williams is involved. Yeah, I have a feeling it was that much of a success. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is coming up next. We'll introduce our pal Jim Mora and Zaza Pachulia. Nothing easy.
Nothing easy.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
All right, guys, summer is here. Maybe you've been working out all winter and you didn't get the results that you need. Well, maybe it's time to take a different route. maybe it's time to call Dr. Dan Baltnight at the men's clinic. Dr. Dan Baltnight is a respected local physician. He'll get to the bottom of why you may not be getting results that you're used to. This isn't some faceless online clinic where you send your numbers in and they send your numbers back, or you talk to some AI chatbot. Dr. Dan Baltnight is an actual person who personally tailors your treatment based on the labs and symptoms that you have. Those labs, the best part, you have an initial consultation with Dr. Dan Baltnight that is absolutely free. So come in, get your T levels checked. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Don't wait. Call him at 803-875-MENS. That's 803-875-MENS. Or you can visit him online at mensclinicsc.com.
Sponsored by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You think a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt is the worst that could happen until you get in a crash. Suddenly, a ticket doesn't seem so bad. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Learning to drive, getting married, the birth of your children. These are the life-changing events you remember your whole life. I'm Jason Reynolds. A serious injury changes your life too, in a very different way.
I'm Stephen Samuels. At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we get you. We can't erase the injury or change the past, but we can get you through the pain and anxiety and help you on to a brighter future.
We get South Carolina because we're true South Carolina. Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Plus tax and title with approved credit. Call 866-243-4623 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new Jeeps and Rams. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. The sale to end all sales. 378 Lexington and Greystone Boulevard. Declaration of Deal sales event.
Hey guys, it's Jay Phillips for our good friends at Integrated Media. Summertime is here. You're outside spending time with the family, and what a great opportunity to call Integrated and get an outdoor home theater system installed so you can enjoy your favorite games, your favorite shows and movies without having to go back inside or worry about equipment that shouldn't be out there. Built to be outside all year long, even in our climate. Call Integrated Media. Make that happen for you and your family. 803-948-8327. The best in home theater is Integrated Media.
Hate paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free. Just download the 107.5 The Game app. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson giving you a look at the traffic. Only one accident to report in Lexington County at Shumpert Road, at Fish Hatchery Road near Bachman Road. And then we've got our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington County. Taking a look at your forecast for the week. Supposed to be sunny until Thursday. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday with highs of 92. Then Thursday, supposed to be 60% chance of showers. On Friday, 70% chance of showers. And then Saturday, 60% chance of thunderstorms.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. The Early Game with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell. Let's get it. And Jen Jensen. On the Game Network and streaming on the 107.5 The Game app.
Starts right now. I'm Elijah Campbell. He's Preston Thorne. He is Cale Wilson. And he is Jim Mora.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
And not just Jim Mora, because guess what we had over the weekend? You know what we had over the weekend.
What did we have over the weekend?
This will be cut 8, Kale. We're going to toss it over to our playoff correspondent, Zaza Pachulia, for this one.
Cameron, a lot of people say shock the world. I call it destiny. Zaza, talk about pulling it all in at the end there.
Nothing easy. Nothing easy. We're going to Game 7, baby. Game 7. Game 7. Hey, I wish you.
Thank you, Zaza. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Game
you.
7.
He was feeling the crowd. He had to hold that last note a little bit.
What's so funny is if you watch the video of that, as soon as he goes, nothing easy, nothing easy. And he grabs the microphone from the girl's hand, and then he goes, Game 7. he takes the microphone from the reporter and is looking at the crowd and yelling. He was feeling it.
Got to keep the classics alive, kids. Got to keep the classics alive.
That's an all-timer. That is an all-timer. But Zaza was right. We had a Game 7 last night, and it didn't live up. The clip was more exciting than the game was.
For sure. For sure. And I hate to do this, Elijah, but I'm going to have to do this because I've been on these airwaves talking about playing up the NBA playoffs and how exciting they were and all the great players. And that's true, even though this series I did dub as the NBA TV series. And it lived up to that hype because guess what? They had it on at 8 o'clock on Prime. It's like, man, come on. That should have been a 3:30 ABC game, right?
100%. It was the only game. It's a standalone.
And that was like, I don't really love that. And then the game sort of flopped at the end, so it wasn't great living up to what we hope a Game 7 would be.
Yes, and I think I blame the Detroit Pistons for a lot of that.
That's fair.
You remember when I came on these airwaves and I said this team leads the playoffs in what the hell are you doing possessions?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they were on it last night. They said, oh, Elijah, you think we lead it right now? We're going to have an entire game of it. Watch this. It was a monstrosity on offense. It's, hey, Cade Cunningham, we're going to give you the ball 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Can you try to make something happen? And then he has to try to force something. Jalen Duren was on a milk carton the entire playoffs. He only scored 7 points last night. Tobias Harris makes a ton of money. He was 0 for 6 from the field in Game 7. Oh, and Asar Thompson thought he was Jerome Bettis in the first half of the game. I don't know if you saw him run over Sam Merrill, but maybe the most blatantly obvious charge call in the history of the block charge call in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he ran through his chest. Sam Merrill was like feeling his teeth to make sure all the chiclets were still in place by the time he took that blow. That was ridiculous. They were so bad. That was a microcosm of the offense. We're just going to run in a straight line, and if somebody stops us, okay, fine. Then we'll try to get something later in the shot clock.
So they have to find an answer this offseason.
They absolutely do. As great as they are defensively, you could be that good defensively in the NBA in the regular season and win 60 games. You get to the playoffs, you can't have your offense have one player pound the ball into the floor and then nobody be able to catch and shoot, nobody be able to create. That's their biggest problem. They don't have really any other creators. And when you look at the starting lineup of Cade Cunningham, Dennis Jenkins, Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren, Tobias Harris, the lowest paid player in that starting five is Dennis Jenkins for a reason. He's a role player. And that's fine. Role players win you titles. He should not be taking the second most shots in that starting five. He should not be taking the second most shots on the team. Him and Marcus Sasser took the second most shots on the team.
I think this version of the Pistons solidifies my theory. You have a 3-year window. This is year 2.
Yes.
The first year is a surprise. Wow, this is really fun. This is awesome. Doesn't matter that we get knocked out early in the playoffs because that regular season was so much fun. Mm-hmm. Didn't expect it. City's on our back. Let's go. Rocket ship. Second year, you get a little bit closer. You fail. We see the obvious flailings of the roster.
Yes, what the flaws are.
Next year, it's not fun anymore.
No.
Because now you have to at least get to the conference finals, if not the finals, in order for the fans to feel like this thing is moving. So the first year is fun. You don't expect it. Second year is cool because you're still
and you make a progression.
You're still making that progression. But after this year, now you're in the no fun zone as a fan now.
Because you won 60 games in the regular season, which you win 60 games in a regular season. To me, whatever happens in the playoffs is extra, especially when you're this young, right? You win 60 games, that is an incredible accomplishment on its own. But now you know exactly what those flaws are, and that is that offensively it is so stale. It is even just a bad offensive product right? Especially when the floor shrinks, they shrunk. And the floor will shrink in the playoffs. Now, for them, there is almost no more growth in the regular season. If this team wins more than 62 or 63 games in the regular season, it then becomes championship or bust. In the NBA, if you win like 65 games in a regular season, then it's really championship or bust at that point. They're getting to a point now where if they replicate this with another 60-win season, you are now expected to at least make the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals.
I would say they are heading to the place where I think the Timberwolves are now.
Where that expectation is real.
Yeah. It's not cute anymore. It's not fun. It's like you got to get something done. Ant-Man is my guy. Speaking of which, they got eliminated.
Oh, they got clubbed.
They got sent home.
I was very angry about that.
But that's my guy. I love his game. I love his interviews. But it's not cute anymore. You're going to have to win now in order for us to continue this love affair.
Well, especially because, they did the whole rough stuff with Victor Wembanyama thing. They roughed him up. They got under his skin. He threw an elbow to Naz Reid. He gets kicked out of Game 4. And their whole thing was in this series, we're going to play him physical. Look at that string bean that just so happens to be 8 feet tall. We're just going to rough him up. And guess what? Victor Wembanyama throws one elbow, and they didn't want to touch him for 2 more games. That never should work like that. That should absolutely not work like that. If you are this tough basketball team, you can't let one elbow discourage you from playing hard defense on that guy.
Wemby punked him.
Yeah, Wemby did punk him.
And the rest of his
we'll
pals.
Take the game. Yeah, he said, we'll let you have that game. And what they do in games 5 and 6, they weren't close, Preston Thorne. Yeah. We're talking like 30-point beatdowns in these things. The Spurs straight up punked the Timberwolves. Immediately, they bit back, and the Timberwolves wanted no part of that.
To profess my undying love for Ant-Man, there was a slight controversy because during the game, with about 7 minutes left, they're down by 30. They wave the white flag. He's getting taken out of the game, and he goes over and he congratulates the Spurs, gives everybody dap. I saw it as a sign of sportsmanship. However, a lot of folks on Twitter and the broadcast team,
Dirk Nowitzki, Udonis Haslem.
Yeah, the broadcast team, the OGs, the vets, they said, it was a sign of weakness. What say you, sir?
I would have waited till after the game. I do think it's bad optics. Honestly, I have no problem, dapping somebody up. The sportsmanship is good. I like that. I think when you are paid that much money and you're the leader of the team, if there's still 8 minutes to go in the game like there was, probably just
ease off on it.
It's one of those things. I really don't have a problem with the act. It's just there's the optics that if you are a paying customer and you are a fan, if you're giving up with 8 minutes to go in the game, I am too. Peace out. Sorry, I'm going to beat the traffic.
Fair.
Anthony Edwards says it's over, so I'm saying it's over. I'm going to leave. That's really the only thing for me. I didn't get that bent out of shape. I didn't look at it as, Anthony Edwards' leadership.
That's what's wrong with the game.
That's what's wrong with the game. No. Because Anthony Edwards is being real there. They were not winning that game. I am sorry. They were not winning that basketball game. It was 50-27 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. They got punked for 4 quarters.
Right.
Got absolutely beaten down.
It's just you have to do your winning and losing in a certain specific way.
But you know what that means? This means that we get the collision course. The Mega Series collision course has come to fruition, Preston Thorne, and Game 1 is tonight at 8:30.
Can't wait.
Spurs at Thunder.
Legitimate dislike from these two teams is what you've been waiting for. You say that you say Anthony Edwards, they're too chummy. Well, you don't have to worry about that. I saw a clip from this weekend where they were asking Chet about his relationship with Wemby, and he was just basically like, "What relationship? Have y'all ever said a word to each other?" He's like, "Have you spoken to him?" He said, "I don't think we've said a sentence to each other." Then you intersperse it with the clips of Wemby cheering every time Chet misses a free throw.
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful.
And they'll deny that there's any beef. Chet Holmgren went on Paul George's podcast and goes, beef. What I consider beef is if I see you, we're fighting, right? And I'm like, Chet. Okay, sure, whatever. yeah. You're not fighting anybody, right? Because somebody punches you, you will break, right? You are way too thin. But there is a genuine basketball on-floor rivalry between those two.
Because I'm supposed to be the guy who's 7'5" and can dribble.
Yeah, not you. I'm supposed to be the freak of nature here. This is Alien versus Predator type freak of nature battling it out, right?
I'm supposed to be 7'6" and hitting 3-pointers, not I'm supposed to be the only person in the world who can do this.
I'm the unicorn, not you.
Elijah, if these two were to fight, I think it would be one of the only evenly matched fights in the NBA you'd see with how thin they both are.
Yeah, Wemby's got a little bit more tone, though. Maybe a little more reach. Wemby's a favorite. I would say he's maybe a minus 150.
You give it away. And we know he has a sharp elbow.
We know he's got a sharp elbow. Yeah, Nas Reed will tell you that he's got a sharp elbow.
Well, we'll see.
But this is going to be a fantastic series, and get used to it. I spent an entire segment at Westwood One yesterday saying if you don't like this, if you are not interested in this series, I have bad news for you. We're going to see this, whether it's the Western Conference Finals or semifinals, however the regular seasons shake out, you're going to see this for like the next decade because the cores of these teams are all in their mid-20s or like low 20s. These guys are going to be playing for these teams for a long time. Some role players may change here and there, but Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dylan Harper and
SGA two-time.
He finished back-to-back MVP. I wouldn't have voted. I would have voted Wembanyama, actually. But the guy news dumped it on a Sunday morning. Are you kidding me?
I feel like I don't know. I don't like that he won the MVP because I feel like he gets half of his points on the season from free throws.
I understand what you're saying, and that is the main kind of critique. But I think that's one thing where perception doesn't match reality as much. He has never had a season in his career where he's averaged more than 9 free throws a game. James Harden had 6 straight where he averaged more than 10.5 per game. But he does get to the I don't think it's that necessarily that he gets to the line that much. It's that how he does it. I think that is awfully annoying. And I get it. And that's why I think a majority of Americans are going to be cheering for the Spurs in this. A majority of them, I think, are going to hop on that Spurs bandwagon because they would consider it.
I will be one of those majority.
I kind of want to see it. I love the Spurs team too much. They're fun.
Give me the Thunder.
Preston
I don't want the Spurs to win it all, but I want them to win this series. I want the Knicks to win it all because I saw my Charlotte Hornets beat the New York Knicks, and I want to have a reason to say and claim that I have an outrageous take that the Charlotte Hornets are NBA champs.
Solid.
You are the transitive property NBA champions.
Yes, definitely.
Hang the banner.
Yes.
But last thing on the playoffs, though, we're getting another, what Zaza would say, Game 7! Nothing easy. Because of our boy. Our boy played Savior on Saturday night, Preston Thorne. Alex Lyon got the start for the Buffalo Sabres. He faced 4 shots. He gave up 3 goals. They get down 3-1 to Montreal in a must-win Game 6 on the road. And guess who they call? Guess who they bring in off the bench? The one. The only. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen comes off the bench, is faced with 18 shots, and does not give up a goal.
What's his name one more time?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
You might see it again.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. As long as he is still standing on his head in these playoffs, he will be a feature part of this show.
He sounds like a winner.
He is a winner. Oh, that's the early game's favorite hockey player is Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. And not only did he not give up a goal, they got down 3-0. He didn't get 3-1. He did not give up a goal the rest of the game. The Sabres scored 7 straight. They won that game 8-3. Outscored Montreal 6-0 in the last 2 periods. That Game 7 is going to be later this week. I believe that one is going to be, no, that one is tonight. Yeah, that Game 7. Ooh. Game 7 is tonight at 7:30 on ESPN.
The over-under for that was 5.5 goals. And 5 of the 6 games that have been played so far have had 6 or more goals scored.
That's why the Sabres have had their goalie controversy. They can't figure out who they want to put in net because each team's lighting each other up. Been a really fun series, so I'm excited to see how that one goes. The winner will take on the Carolina Hurricanes. But coming up next, it is the early game morning meeting. Preston Thorne has a graduation week PSA for all of you graduating high schoolers out there. We'll hear from Coach P next.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
Since that win at Clemson by the Gamecocks, things haven't gone well. And when things don't go well, it's time to look back on the days when things were well. Yeah, let's spin back to the good old days on the Game Network.
The Gamecocks are making history in Cleveland. They'll be the 10th team, the 5th program to go undefeated and win the national championship. They will avenge their loss to Iowa from last year. The clock ticks down. 2 seconds to play. Celebration in Cleveland. Perfection wears garnet and black. Game over.
Now that's some good feels right there. From 107.5 The Game and the Game Network. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
A lot of things in life can be giving you trouble. If business tax issues or personal income tax issues are one of those things, John Ecton and his team at the Ecton Law Firm are here to help you out. And it's a pretty simple way to be able to get in touch with John and his team, because you can set up a free consultation. All you got to do is call 803-771-9800, set up that free consultation, talk with John and his team at the Ecton Law Firm, and have them help you with their local team that's been resolving these type of issues for a long time in the state of South Carolina. They're perfectly qualified, really, to offer you the peace of mind that you know you deserve. Talk through your problems. I'm telling you, there's nothing that you can present to them that they haven't seen. That is how seasoned, how veteran experience that this group is. They can get you out of that IRS maze that is incredibly difficult to get out of. So don't wait. Call 803-771-9800, or you can always visit them at ectonlawfirm.com. That's ECTONlawfirm.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
Rhino Shield is backed by an extraordinary 25-year warranty with special financing available.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call at 833-RHINO-99. Call now and receive 15% off the regular price. Or go to rhinoshieldcarolina.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
Call now, 833-RHINO-99 for your 15% off. Or go to rhinoshieldcarolina.com.
Plus tax and title with approved credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new JT's Kias. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia. The sale to end all sales. JT's Kia, I-77 Killian Road or Greystone Boulevard. Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, smells musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor, call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Mount Valley Foundation Services is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Elijah Campbell here from 107.5 The Game, and spring cleaning meets hosting season with Zerorez. Get carpets cleaned for just $35 per room, and stairs are now only $35 too. Plus, take $50 off that air duct cleaning by mentioning 107.5 The Game. Look now at ZerorezColumbia.com and get guest ready today.
Hey, this is Ray and Nathan with Pope Davis Tire and Automotive.
Last year's Technician Bikini Car Wash was a huge success.
But, unfortunately, Grease Lightning and Piston Pete left us for jobs at the club.
Don't worry. If you are feeling hot, we can still cool you down.
By fixing your car's AC for 30% less than the dealership charges.
And we have an $80 rebate on any set of Michelin or BF Goodrich tires until May 23rd.
Cool down online at PopeDavisTire.com.
Everybody loves streaming till you have to pay for it. Just download the 107.5 The Game app and stream us for free. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson with a look at the traffic. Couple accidents here. We've still got that accident in Lexington County on Fish Hatchery Road near Bachman Road. And then an accident in front of Michelin on Two Notch Road between Longs Pond Road and Richard Bonham Drive in Lexington County. And then our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington County. Taking a look at our weather right now, it's currently 69 degrees and sunny. It will be in the mid-70s until 10 a.m. and then in the mid-80s and the high 80s until 3. Should stick around in the 90s until 7 p.m.
With former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
It's happening. Congratulations, high school seniors. Not to sound like Boys to Men, but here we are at the end of the road. But it's the beginning of a new chapter. Graduation is one of the best days of your life. Very exciting time. And our own Preston Thorne has his PSA for those graduating high school this weekend. And we're going to do that for today's morning meeting.
Good morning. Good morning. Repeat after me. Today will be an awesome day.
Of course it will.
Let's go.
Good morning, great today. Today will be an awesome day. Good morning, great today. Today will be an awesome day.
It sure will, because Preston Thorne, what do we have coming up this weekend?
Big time week this weekend, this week, next week. It's 2 weeks full. Kale, hit the music. What a banger.
It hits every time.
Listen, early winner, Edward Elgar, composer of Pomp and Circumstance.
Oh, he had that in his bag.
You did it, man.
One-hit wonder, Edward Elgar?
I think so. I think this might have been the one he was trying to reach that mountaintop. He never could quite do another one like this one. But this is the one. And here's my PSA. And Elijah, I have to correct you slightly. This PSA is not for the graduates.
Oh.
This PSA is for everybody else around who's orbiting in this environment.
Equally as important.
Because this is extremely important. I'm going to give a couple of things that we need to make sure we say for this 2 weeks. The Colonial Life Arena will be rocking. Graduations in, out, every 3 hours. People will be coming in, people will be coming out. And here's what I need you to make sure that you do. First and foremost, everybody, pack your patience. Pack your patience. This is a high-strung, emotional environment. Everybody needs to pack their patience. That means patient with your partner, patient with your children, patient with your parents. Everybody around is going to be on edge because graduations are an extremely emotional event. It's all kinds of emotions flying around. It's my next part. It's going to be way more intense than you think. You don't know how intense this is going to be until you get there. You hear the music coming in. You see your child wearing the cap. You know, you're going through flashbacks. A lot of stuff's going to be happening. And if you don't have your patience, things are going to be happening. Which leads me to my third part of this PSA. Get there early. Get there as early as possible because, again, you do not want to be adding stress onto an already stressful environment. So many things are happening. Did I pack all their clothes? Does he have on dress shoes? Why is his hair like that? I told him not to do that. He's doing that idiotic thing that him and his friends do all the time, and I just wanted one normal picture, and he's not giving it to me. I'm sure I'm speaking for somebody's experience.
Oh, my brother. Yeah. He hit the dab on stage while my mom was trying to take a picture. It was very 2016. She was so mad.
Graduations are a huge deal. I'll talk about them again in Thorns, Buds, and Roses, but it's a huge deal. But remember, it's huge for everybody that's around. There's going to be family members there, maybe peripheral family members, like not the core group, so there's going to be ultra folks there. It's just a lot of things happening. So my number one piece of advice for graduation days is pack your patience. Parking, getting to your seat, staying at your seat. How many programs do you need? Elderly and children, make sure you have a plan for them. Where are we going to be sitting? Where are the restrooms? Do both sides have snacks? we got to take care of all these things, and a lot of times the parents are in the middle. All the while you're in the middle of this, you're trying to take in graduation while your child's graduating. There are a lot of things happening. The early game will walk you through these all through this week. We'll be here. We'll be your source of calm in a sea of craziness during this week. But I just want to make sure for this morning meeting that everybody's on board, that this is going to be a highly stressful, emotional week. Also, if you're traveling in that area, a lot of crazy people, all that emotion that I just said, that comes out when you're driving too. So if you hear people cutting you off, running red lights, not turning, walking across the street because they're looking at their phone because they're trying to meet up with Uncle Kathy, Aunt Kathy, or whoever, everybody in this time period, everybody just take a 1, 2, 3. One more. Deep breaths. You're going to get through it. You're going to enjoy it. And it's an amazing time. You've worked all these years for this moment. Try your best to enjoy it.
I'm going to apply the Tom Coughlin rule. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have had this rule before, but I heard it first on a NFL Films thing, which is how I learned a lot of anything about life growing up. Sadly enough, NFL Films raised me. Tom Coughlin used to would talk all the time. Like, he's got, like, the Tom Coughlin rule is if you're not 15 minutes early at least, you are late. Tom Coughlin rule it times 3, right? Think about Tom Coughlin every time that morning that you get up. Let's make it, instead of 15 minutes, 45. If you're not 45 minutes out the door early, then you are late.
Because things are going to happen. You're going to forget your sunglasses. Oh, we forgot the program. Oh, we don't wear the tickets. I didn't have my shoes on. Oh, the dress shirt's not ironed. Whatever. It's going to happen, yes. That is the Tom Coughlin rule, also known as the Lou Holtz rule. It's basically, let me see if I can get it if I can remember it. Early is on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're never heard of.
Ooh.
That's the Lou Holtz.
One of my teachers would have said, always used to say, if you're late, you're dead to me.
It's fair. I am a stickler. I am a stickler on time. So this is one of these things where you just don't add on to your stress by running a little bit late. Take care of what you need to take care of the night before. Do all the stuff that you need, because there's going to be a lot of stressful folks running around. And if you think about the stress that you're having right now in this moment, just multiply it times, 150. Because everybody's feeling the same thing when their children are walking across the stage. So that is my PSA for graduation week. We will be here with you. Turn us on, listen to some sports, listen to two bros yuck it up about something stupid on the internet. We'll be here. We will get you through it, but it will be a stressful week.
It will, but if you're prepared, you will minimize that stress.
Correct.
100%. We've learned a lot, and sat through enough high school graduations, have enough siblings to know exactly.
Am I inaccurate? I'm accurate on everything I say.
Incredibly accurate. My older sister graduated from a high school that is significantly smaller than the one I graduated in. That might have been the most stressful one. Because we might have been a little late. And we got really close.
See, you don't want to
missing something.
You don't want to do that.
No, you do not. No, and trust me, you do. And even if you're a kid listening to this, you're on the way to school right now, you got a role to play in this too. If you're going to older brother or older sister's graduation, you have a role too.
Move out the way. Get yourself ready and move out the way, because your parents are on a warpath this week.
They say to do something.
Do it. First time listening.
Don't make them say it a second time.
Do not this week.
You do not want to be around when the second time is said. You do not.
Not this week.
Telling you from experience. You don't want that smoke. Coming up next, the NFL schedule release was this past week, and normally there's nothing you could really do outside of doing the boring schedule game. But there is one actual takeaway that I think you can take, and it all but guarantees one certain AFC team to be in the playoffs after missing last year. I'll tell you who it is next year on the early game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
This hour of in-show listening on 107.5 The Game is sponsored by QC Kinetics in West Columbia, the non-surgical regenerative orthopedic specialists of the Midlands. Request your consultation today by dialing pound 250 and use keyword QC Kinetics.
Sponsored by Castle Brothers Home Services. CastleBros.com.
Most HVAC system breakdowns don't happen at once. They start small, then fail when the peak weather hits. Fix it before it fails. Get a $59 AC system check, plus save 15% on same-day repairs. Visit castlebros.com.
The Gant family with Pioneer Tree Service has been taking care of trees in Columbia and surrounding areas for over 48 years. Pioneer Tree Service provides tree and shrub removal, pruning and thinning, tree planting, cabling and bracing, raising tree canopies, stump grinding and removal, storm damage services, property cleaning and grading, right-of-way maintenance, and more. They also provide 24-hour emergency tree removal. They can also handle the removal of diseased and dead trees before an emergency happens. Call them today for a free estimate. 803-794-8253. The Gant family and their team at Pioneer Tree Service can be trusted to provide professional and quality tree services with affordable pricing for residential or commercial jobs. Ashton Smith called Pioneer Tree Service and said they came when she was leaving for work, and when she got home, the tree was gone, as if it was never there. She was so impressed with Pioneer Tree Service, she will definitely use them again. Here's one of the Gant girls, Madison Gant.
Call us today for a free estimate at 803-794-8253 or check us out online at pioneertreesc.com.
Elijah Campbell here from 107.5 The Game, and spring cleaning meets hosting season with Zerorez. Get carpets cleaned for just $35 per room, and stairs are now only $35 too. Plus, take $50 off that air duct cleaning by mentioning 107.5 The Game. Look now at ZerorezColumbia.com and get guest ready today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Plus tags and title with approved credit. Call 866-243-4623 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new Jeeps and Rams. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. The sale to end all sales. 378 Lexington and Greystone Boulevard. Declaration of Deal Sales Event.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people. Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Joe Standifer, Esquire, 11915 Plaza Drive, Suite 301, Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, 29576.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Listen, it is not too late to stop this. Do not do this. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. It's damn near perfect. It's beautiful as it is. Stop trying to fix what ain't broke. And stop telling me that the tournament isn't the tournament unless the 15th place team in the SEC gets in. Stop jerking with the best event in all of sports, you pigs.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Hate paying for streaming? Well, the 107.5 The Game app is free. Yes, free. Just download the 107.5 The Game app. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson giving you another look here at the traffic. We've got an accident in Berkeley County at Cooper Store Road. An accident still on Fish Hatchery Road near Bachman Road in Lexington County. And then we've got another accident still in front of the Michelin in Lexington County on Two Notch Road between Longs Pond Road and Richard Bonham Drive. Then in Northeast Columbia, we have some heavy traffic on I-20 westbound between Spears Creek Church Road, exit 82 and exit 76A. And then we have our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington counties.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Now, when the schedule's released in the NFL, like, the league makes it such a big deal. And I've never gotten, like, really into it. The day that I sit in front of a TV and watch a schedule unveiling is the day that we're probably going to need to find some help for me. Right? I know some people do, and if you do, good for you. Different strokes for different folks. It just can't be me.
And just for me to be clear, it's not as if we're finding out who they're playing, because we already know that. Were we just finding out when they're playing?
There are a couple of gaps that are filled because you know who they're going to play in the division, and then a couple of games are sprinkled out, as the offseason progresses. Really, you know who you're going to play that's not the designated division, like cross-conference division. Like the NFC South this year is playing the NFC North, and then I think they'll play the AFC North, right? But then there are a couple other games to fill the gaps. Like, I think going into every year, with the division games that you have in your own division, which is 6 games, 4 from another one, 4 from that's like 14 games. So then you get like the last 3 that you might not have known.
Yeah, you can just send me the email on this one. I don't need to be there for that.
That's what I got. I got an email that had everything that I needed to know. But the thing about that email too is from the NFL, and it was 32 pages long, because it had a lot of like stats and info in there that I found to be pretty helpful. And I did see one they put in there since 1990. At least 4 teams every year made the playoffs after missing the year prior. So I was like, I want to find out who it is then. I want to go ahead and try to pick out that team. And I want to use strength of schedule as my guide, just by using the metric of what your opponents had in wins and loss record last year, and if they were playoff teams. And the Cincinnati Bengals, I can all but guarantee will make the playoffs, Preston Thorne. They technically had the 3rd weakest strength of schedule in the NFL, but that was like, I want to count the playoff teams. How many playoff teams are you facing from last season? They're only facing 5. 5 in a 17-game schedule. Only 5 teams that played the playoffs last year. Only 3 of them are going to be on the road. And those 3, Steelers, because you have to play. There's a playoff team in your division.
The Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers.
Finally, we know. Finally, he has emerged from his cave of darkness, drinking whatever dirt water hallucinogen that was available to him, has finally received his divine advice that he was searching for and said, I'm going to play another year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. So now we know. But it's going to be Pittsburgh. It's going to be Houston. It will be Carolina. Now, I do like the Texans' defense a lot. I think as long as D'Amico Ryans is coaching and as long as they have Will Anderson on the edge and Derek Stingley at corner, that's going to be a mean, mean defense. But C.J. Stroud on the road doesn't scare me. I like what the Panthers did. I think the Panthers might have had one of the best off seasons in football. Bryce Young still doesn't scare me. 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers doesn't scare me. He didn't scare me in 2026. He scared me in 2016. He doesn't scare me in 2026. Those are your 3 road games against last year's playoff teams if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. They improved the defense a lot, traded for Sexy Dexy.
Very happy about that.
Added Boye Mafe, an edge rusher from the Seahawks, who was pretty vital to them winning a Super Bowl. Oh, they drafted Cassius Howell. I like what they did defensively. Still not perfect, because I'm still very, very iffy on their secondary. But I think that defense could be good enough with the schedule they have. If we're looking for the teams that are going to make the playoffs after missing the year prior, and the NFL has told us that since 1990, at least 4 every single year fit that mold, I feel pretty good at slotting the Cincinnati Bengals as one of those teams.
Well, on top of them being slotted in the playoff team, the argument that you just made may shoot them to the top of my possible fandom board for this year.
Oh, the Fighting Langston Moores? One of the Fighting Langston Moores?
Langston Moore grocery store, they might be on the list. for those reasons. Cool uniforms.
Helmets are classic.
Classic uniforms. Some would even say iconic. They just got to win a little bit more for them to be iconic. Demetrius Knight.
Yes.
He's still there. Still there playing well. Joe Beasy. Love him. Got to stay healthy.
That's a big thing.
Got to stay healthy. And then they put Sexy Dexy in the mix. And come on, man.
This is a Preston Thorne type football team.
There's something that they can. This is a very interesting team because they've been offensive led. They've been trying to figure out what they're going to do with their defense, and they might have figured it out. And then when you put the scheduling into play, this might be a recipe for success for them in the playoffs.
I think it is, well, especially if you do well enough in the regular season, or if you win that division, it's going to set you up perfectly for home playoff games, clear road. If they play well enough, if they dominate the division, then they can be, first in the AFC and be able to really carve a path out there and really if they take advantage of the schedule. I look at the division too, and that's another thing that I have question marks in regards to whether or not the Bengals will fit that mold, because I don't know exactly what some of these teams are in the division. I still don't know who the Steelers are. Yeah, we know Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, and they did some improvements. How much is Aaron Rodgers going to elevate that offense? Who knows, right? I don't know how much better he is getting from last year to this year. I think you can look at last year and give you a pretty good idea, even if you do give him some help on the offensive side of the ball. I look at the Ravens and say, you also have a new head coach like the Steelers. New head coach, don't know what you're going to do on offense. You didn't really replenish the center position when you lost Tyler Linderbaum. That's a huge loss, considering he's one of the best run blockers in football, and the Ravens like to run the ball.
To go back to the conversation we've been having about coaches, if we take those two hires, because I like building out these frameworks, the early game frameworks, you take those two hires that the Steelers made and that the Ravens made. One is a clear rocket ship candidate, and one is a clear retread candidate, correct?
Yep, certainly. And I liked both hires.
I do too.
Yeah, I liked them. I don't know how immediate the dividends are going to be. And for the Ravens, that's kind of an issue because you're in win now mode. This is a championship window that you still think you have open.
Comparatively, is he sort of on the like John Gruden-esque? Like when Tampa hired John Gruden, they had a veteran coach that had taken them to the brink, and they needed maybe some new fresh blood to come in there and take them over the top. Is that similar in your mind?
On a scale of 1 to John Gruden, with John Gruden being a 10, I think Mentor might be an 8 or a 9.
Yeah,
because the Buccaneers did trade for John Gruden.
That's right.
They didn't just hire. They traded for him. The rare coach trade.
Forgot about that.
We had a coach trade, and I think if you get traded as a coach, it's because they know that you can take them to wherever it is you want to go.
When I go back to the Steelers, I like the Mike McCarthy hire if they would have gotten a new quarterback. I don't like it with just running it back with Aaron, even though they have a relationship. I like the veteran coach ushering in a new era.
Yes, I think so too. For the future of the Steelers, yeah. For the now and the present of the Steelers, it still feels like 8 or 9 wins. And if the Bengals can take care of them in one of those games and do enough to win the division, which I think they can. I mean, the Bengals even beat the Ravens last year on the road, right, on Thanksgiving. They proved they could do it even with, the patchwork defense that they had. I think the table has been set, especially now that we can look at the schedule a little bit. If there's anything that I actually took away from a schedule release and looking at kind of everything in totality, it's that the Bengals will be back. Because we know that offense can hum. And when it comes to continuity, they're the only team in that division who's bringing their coach back next year. The Browns are the Browns. I mean, call me when you're any good, right?
Correct.
Believe it when I see it notion with Cleveland. But coming up next, the most intriguing storyline in the SEC that happened off the field has a further development. We'll tell you what it is next here on the early game.
Wow, what a play. The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
This is Elijah Campbell from 107.5 The Game and the Game Network. If you run a diner, bakery, coffee shop, burger joint, pizza spot, or that hidden gem everybody should know about, how would you like to get the word out about your business without spending a dime? Well, we got you. All you have to do is text your name, your business, and your phone number to 404-6100, and we'll be in touch. There is no catch. We know times are tough, but we would love to help you out and your business.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
History made of the PGA Championship. Aaron Rai, the guy who plays with two gloves, won the whole thing. 5 under 65 on Sunday to secure his first career major title. 31-year-old Englishman. First Englishman to win in over 100 years. I'm Drake Toll.
The right tools aren't optional. They're how the job gets done right. That's why a lot of us run with Napa for tools and equipment we can count on. From Milwaukee fuel sets, sockets, and impacts that deliver real power when you need it, to Carlisle hand tools built for precision, durability, and everyday use. It's professional-grade gear that keeps your bays moving and your business running strong. So when you need the right tool, right now, you know where to go. Napa.
Need to sell your house fast? Whether you're facing foreclosure, stuck with bad tenants, or just ready for a fresh start, House Buyer Network can help. We buy homes as is for cash. No fees, no commissions, no repairs. Get a fair cash offer in just 24 hours and close in as little as 7 days. Call 833-719-5877 now for your free no-obligation offer. That's 833-719-5877. House Buyer Network. Fast cash, no hassle.
Offers are typically below market value in exchange for speed and convenience. Call for details.
Life matters. I recently read an article called Effective Pastoral Leadership for Today. I read the advice of this world-famous preacher and caught myself smiling from time to time because I knew his advice wouldn't work. Oh, he was no charlatan and his methods worked for him. The problem is that he was writing to preachers in the 80s, the 1880s. His strategy was simply out of date because so much has changed in society since he wrote the article. But two things he wrote about are still exactly on track for today. His philosophy was built upon these two ideas: that God loves people and that no problem we have is too big for Jesus to solve. It reminded me of Psalm 62, which says, "You, O Lord, are powerful, and with you is steadfast love. Some things never change." This is Stephen Chitty from Christian Life Church, reminding you that life matters, and so do you.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing, and for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
The early game starts with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Unexpectedly, it became the biggest story in the SEC in terms of the offseason. No, it's not another Georgia player getting arrested for something they did with their vehicle.
That would have been a good guess.
Would have been a fantastic guess. That is you using your noggin and using the context clues to be able to round everything together. But no, it was the shooting of Ahmaud Hardy at a concert in Laurel, Mississippi. That was the guy who was the leading.
Say that sentence one more time.
The big story was that Missouri running back Ahmaud Hardy, who led the SEC in rushing yards, projected to be the number 1 running back taken in next year's NFL draft, and an early Heisman candidate, was shot in the leg at a concert in Laurel, Mississippi.
One last word you meant, outdoor concert.
Outdoor concert in Laurel, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And that sentence is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. It could be a lot of different things.
Concert doing a lot of lifting.
Arnold Schwarzenegger levels of lifting up in this thing. But we do have a little bit of a development, and that is that a 20-year-old man wanted in the connection of the shooting, this is from ESPN, of Missouri football star Ahmaud Hardy at an outdoor concert in Mississippi has been arrested. And that would be Rashadrick Harris of Wayne County, Mississippi, was arrested and taken into custody in Paducah, Kentucky, which is a 7-hour drive from Wayne County, Mississippi. So our suspect was also on the run.
Mm-hmm.
So we can eliminate the Cheddar Bob / Plaxico Burress type incident. So we do know Ahmaud Hardy was shot by somebody else with somebody else's firearm. And even with all this reporting, we don't know as much still. I mean, we know he was expected to be released from the hospital earlier this week. I think Monday was the expectation. So today he's supposed to be released from the hospital in Columbia, Missouri. So he is back home, or back at his school in Columbia, Missouri. So there's other people that are of interest that were taken into custody but have been released with no charges. So there's still some developments going on, but one person has been arrested for the shooting that caught Ahmaud Hardy in the leg.
Yeah, this is going to be – there's still more to this story that will be reported because the most interesting thing that I found is that this person was charged with aggravated assault, which I'm not a lawyer. I'm not even trying to play lawyer, but there were a lot of other charges that he could have been charged with that are a lot more aggressive on the scale. And so I do think that there will be some more information coming out about this story. Also, the 3 people that they had that they had arrested previously were released, to let go. So there's still a lot of information. But bottom line, as far as this relates to Ahmaud Hardy, I don't know, man. It's a big shoulder shrug, and this does absolutely change how Missouri was looking to go into their football season.
Because they did a lot to that roster. They got Austin Simmons, who was the quarterback at Ole Miss before he got hurt and struggled a little bit, and Trinidad Chambliss came in and did not give that job up.
Wally Pipp.
He got Wally pipped by Trinidad Chambliss, which is an incredible sentence to say. And now he's playing at Missouri now. So there's high expectation there because I think there's still a lot of ceiling to be reached with Austin Simmons. And they got Caden Lee, who was one of the best receivers at Ole Miss. They got him to add to that offense. But that offense is fueled by the run game, the stretch run game, outside zone. Ahmaud Hardy was clearly really good at that and was clearly one of the best running backs in college football last season and is expected to be this season. How much if he's even able to play. That's the thing. We don't know what his status is going to be. Marty Smith, who did the reporting on this, still says it's really unclear as to what his status for the season is going to be. But if he plays, I can't imagine that he's going to be 100% for a while. I don't even know. And that's without me knowing exactly where in the leg is upper leg. So, I mean, anywhere in the quad, I guess. I don't know how much the bullet got, what type of recovery is going to be involved. But as someone who has never been shot by a firearm, I can't tell you that it's going to be an easy recovery or a hard recovery. I just can't imagine that it's going to be an easy recovery.
Yeah, well, I mean, the range that it can be a wide range of things because it depends on where you got hit, the severity of it. All of those things matter because obviously you can have somebody who can have like a flesh type of wound where we can get this thing figured out and patch it up and we can move forward, or it can be all the way to, unfortunately, Sean Taylor, who got shot in the leg and ended up dying from that. So there's a very wide range. But I'm going to give another PSA here. I don't know if anybody that's listening at 753 needs to hear this, but you can pass it along to somebody that you might care about. There's only 2 reasons to be waiting around at the end of a concert, party, whatever the case is, and this is what was told to me, so I'll tell it to you. Either you're waiting to shoot somebody or you're waiting to get shot. So leave. Go to the party. You don't have to stay to the end. If you didn't get it done before the party was over, it's not going to get done, whatever it may be for you. Probably
whatever the goal is.
It's probably the same for most folks at these type of functions. Leave. Do not hang around because the trouble happens afterwards a majority of times in a lot of these situations where you're talking bar, club, outdoor concert, whatever you want to call it. Go late, leave early, and you'll have just as much fun.
You will. And you can maybe even accomplish what you set out to accomplish. After a certain time, that's when weird hours happen. Avoid weird hours.
Don't want to be in weird hours because weird things happen.
No, you don't. 2 hours down, 1 to go. The early game, third and long hour is next. Talking about what went down over at Vanderbilt over the weekend.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at herndonchevy.com.
Press here for our friends at Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. If your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. If it's a cracked windshield, no problem. They'll come out to your location and they'll replace it for you, usually for free, and they'll work directly with the insurance to take away the headache. They'll come out to wherever you are, school, home, work, it does not matter. Absolute Glass will come out to you and take care of the job for you. Now, if you're at home, you're looking to increase the value of your home, Absolute Glass can take care of that for you too. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. We say it all the time. If you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Plus tax and title with approved credit. Call 866-243-4623 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new Jeeps and Rams. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Jeep Ram. The sale to end all sales. 378 Lexington and Greystone Boulevard. Declaration of Deal Sales Event.
Do you have sagging, soft, or bouncy floors in your home? Well, this could be a sign of rotten wood caused by moisture in your crawl space. Damaged wood in your crawl space can affect your home's foundation, and that can affect your home's value, and nobody wants that. Say goodbye to sagging floors and hello to a stable foundation. Contact Canty today for your free inspection at 803-424-8380 or visit CantyCanFixIt.com.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Listen, it is not too late to stop this. Do not do this. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. It's damn near perfect. It's beautiful as it is. Stop trying to fix what ain't broke. And stop telling me that the tournament isn't the tournament unless the 15th place team in the SEC gets in. Stop jerking with the best event in all of sports, you pigs.
The Jim Rome Show podcast. What's your beef? Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Elijah Campbell here from 107.5 The Game, and spring cleaning meets hosting season with Zerorez. Get carpets cleaned for just $35 per room, and stairs are now only $35 too. Plus, take $50 off that air duct cleaning by mentioning 107.5 The Game. Look now at ZerorezColumbia.com and get guest ready today.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson with another traffic update. Got a couple new accidents to report. Starting in Berkeley County, still have an accident on Cooper Store Road at SC6. And then another accident on Shumpert Road at Fish Hatchery Road near Bachman Road in Lexington County. Got an accident in Lexington County, a new one on I-20 eastbound after exit 58. Another accident in Richland County on I-20 westbound at the Quincy Newman Freeway, exit 73. And then an accident in Lexington County on Two Notch Road between Longs Pond Road and Richard Bonham Drive. And then our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington County. Coming up on the early game is the third and long hour.
Your home for the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game. WNKT Eastover, Columbia. A Cumulus media station. The early game. With former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
The early game, third and long hour, starts right now. I'm Elijah Campbell. He is Preston Thorne. He is Cale Wilson, filling in for Jen Jensen this morning. And our man Thomas is in the video production room here at Studio 803. And we got to kick off the hour with some good news and bad news.
Well, as I said earlier, I'm a bad news first guy.
So we'll give it to you.
Let's
bad
go.
news. South Carolina swept by Vanderbilt. Lost the first game on Thursday that we talked about when we came in here on Friday. That was a 9-1 loss. Got Dolly Partoned in the second game, 9-5, and then lost 5-3 on Saturday in the series finale and the regular season finale, meaning this team has now ended its season on a 12-game losing streak heading into Hoover, where they will play Tennessee tomorrow. And I believe that one is going to be at 5:30. And, of course, you can hear that here on the game. But if you lose Tennessee, that's it. That's the season. And then that's a 13-game losing streak. And right now you've reached historic territory in a way that you never wanted to reach historic territory.
Well, that is bad news, but unfortunately it's not unexpected, because when we saw this series coming up, we were preparing for it. We put everybody on sweep warning. Mm-hmm. We told you that it's a very strong possibility that could happen. So I'm not surprised that it did happen.
I'm not either, unfortunately. But the good news is that this is the last regular season series. As bad as you thought it was going to get this year, we have reached the peak of it, right? What did we learn in the dark night? Is that the night is darkest just before the dawn.
Mm-hmm.
The next time you play a regular season baseball game, you will be in a new era of Gamecock baseball. I think that is good news. And then you can use this, the NCAA tournament to kind of scope through potential coaches with their teams, how they look. You get to maybe analyze it a little bit more. But the big takeaway maybe isn't necessarily just the sweep. We can run through a lot of the numbers from this series, getting outscored 23-9 cumulatively, right? Striking out 29 times in the series.
A tad under 10. Right under these.
A smidge under 10, in between 9 and 10.
9.8-ish. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
See, which is an improvement, because we've had a couple of 11s in the last couple of weekends. And the fact that you got Dolly Parton for the third time this year, it's a stat you can only get here, where you lose 9-5. Happened against Kentucky and it happened against Army. So you're 0-3 in Dolly Parton games. We can go through all of that, but I think the main takeaway here is that you're getting close to the end of the road, and you are one step closer to being able to enter a new era of Gamecock baseball. And what we have from there on out, we still have the coaching search, so there's still some excitement in that, some wonder. But the next time that you see this South Carolina team play in the regular season, it will be under new leadership.
Well, the coaching search is one of the things that we'll be having a lot more discussion about. As bad as this season has been, everybody loves the coaching search.
How can't you love a coaching
Everybody loves the coaching search, because we all get to, it's like the wish list. You get to go into a little Amazon book or the Sears catalog, and you get to mark off the things that you want, the things that you hope, and you get to really learn about what people want for the program based on their ideal candidate for the coaching search. And so there's a lot of folks out there. Earlier, you went over some of the results from some folks that we're looking at. Can we get some of those results?
Absolutely. I mean, I think most South Carolina fans would be on the Better Call Schnall bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
Coastal did not have the best of weekends, though. They did drop 2 of 3 to Louisiana to lose out on the Sun Belt title. Southern Miss ended up taking that crown.
Something I didn't get to say, what I think is interesting about that, which shows where that program is, because obviously they expect to compete for titles every year. But since they lost the title, I would assume nobody's saying, oh, man, that's the end of our season. Everybody's like, nope. We're going to get ourselves together, win a tournament. We'll see you in Omaha, right? So the mindset of that fan base and that team is, yes, we had a bad weekend this weekend. We'll get everything together.
Yeah, and that is the second straight series they've lost in Sun Belt play.
Ooh.
They did lose. They did drop 2 of 3 to Old Dominion.
Little tailspin
at home. So they're going in the wrong direction right now. But they have bigger fish to fry, right? They would love to have won the Sun Belt Conference. Conference championships are great. They'll have a chance in the tournament to win a title there. But when it comes to what their aspirations are, when you play for all the marbles nationally in Omaha the year prior, you're doing whatever it takes to get back. And I think that's the big thing to watch for is how they perform in their regional. Now, how they finish this regular season may dictate the where they play, right, in the regional round, but that's still going to be the biggest thing for them. That's where they're at as a program, is advancement in this postseason event. And when you look at the Big 12 too, because there are two coaches I think that we're both really interested in terms of one of them maybe being the next head coach for South Carolina. I know I am fascinated with Dan Fitzgerald at Kansas, and Steve Sabins is kind of on the periphery of my radar too. Like, he's definitely made it there a little bit. I'm awfully intrigued with what he's done at West Virginia, and as we've put him and Kevin Schnaller kind of in the same category as longtime assistants. This is only their second year as the head coach at these programs, but they've already reached really high highs given those programs' histories. With West Virginia, I mean, last year they went to the Supers. It was only their second Supers appearance ever, the only other one being the year before when he was the lead assistant, right? But Kansas did take 2 of 3 from BYU on the road in Provo to secure the Big 12 title. West Virginia finishes 1 game back because they took 2 of 3 against TCU. Both those programs taking care of business and finished 1-2 in the Big 12.
Everybody should be looking at Dan Fitzgerald, seeing what's going on. That's a name that we have definitely heard. You want to see how they finish the season. You want to see how a coach finishes the season when his name is swirling around. Because if he's up for this job, I'm sure there are other jobs that there might be. We still trying to have to figure out what the actual pecking order is for the South Carolina job. Not what we think it is, but what the market says that it is. Because I'm curious. I don't know. Because I think it's the number 1 job, but that might not be what the market says.
And there's not a lot of openings right now.
Right now.
And once somebody gets maybe unceremoniously ejected from the NCAA tournament, maybe that would create an opening that we otherwise didn't prepare for.
And it doesn't even necessarily have to be that, because you remember the deal with Texas and Texas A&M. There could be a coach who has a deal right now, just waiting to sign the papers. That could be here. I don't know.
It's thing we don't know. It's pretty well kept under wraps.
So there's a lot of things that are definitely happening behind the scenes, and once one domino falls, we'll see a lot of other stuff start happening.
Yeah, that still one of the craziest coaching changes I've ever seen. And I think that one's compounded by the fact that Jim Schlossnagle, after that game, when he was asked about the Texas job, immediately berates the reporter and then takes the Texas job not 24 hours later.
It was a bad moment for sure.
If we were doing the show then,
he would have got on the line.
Jim Schlossnagle would have gotten on the line.
Ooh, I like this. Retroactive get on the line.
Oh, I like that. I like it. Oh, man, I think Jen would put Steve Bartman on the line still.
Yes.
They've even won their World Series. It's been 20-plus years in the making. But could you imagine if we did this show in 2003? I'd have been 8 years old.
Along those lines, it wasn't 2003, but I believe around 2007-ish when Sammy Sosa just decided he couldn't speak English anymore. That would have got him on savvy move. Oh, I'm being investigated? Sorry, can't help you. No habla inglés. Get on the line, Sammy. Stop that.
We know you know better. Come on.
We've heard you. We have interviews with you speaking English, and all of a sudden
on television, no less. You know what? We may have to do that. We may have to carve out one get on the line just for things that we never got to put on the line.
I like it.
That happened pre this rendition of the early game.
I like it.
I like where we're going with that. But in terms of other coaches and what they've done this over the weekend, maybe the most impressive one was what James Ramsey at Georgia Tech did to a ranked Boston College.
Now, you keep bringing up Georgia Tech. I was not paying attention to them, but until we started really, and that's the beauty of the coaching search is now you start widening your range of who you're watching. They are on a tear. They're
ridiculous. The only way I can describe Georgia Tech is nothing but ridiculous. Right now, they cruise through the ACC. They went 25-5 in conference play in a really good league, went 45-9 overall. They went to Boston College to round out their regular season. They won 9-0 in game 1, 14-1 in game 2, 15-2 in 7 innings in game 3. You do the math there, that is 38-3 cumulative score over the weekend on the road against a ranked opponent. Georgia Tech is dangerous.
Yeah.
Like they have built themselves into a juggernaut right now. And I don't know exactly how available James Ramsey's going to be. I don't know what type of support. I can't necessarily speak on the support that Georgia Tech baseball is getting compared to football, basketball, women's basketball. Not 100% sure. I do know they've always been really good at baseball. This year is just one of those special lightning in a bottle years where everything's come together and they have dominated.
Well, this is a situation. This is a situation where the search firm talks to the agent, so everybody can say, "Hey, we never talk to each other," but
those back channels are back channeling.
Let's do the back channel thing here.
And so, if there is interest there, maybe number one on the list of candidates should be a guy who's got Georgia Tech built like this. I mean, they are a buzzsaw right now. That's a team that I've got a really close eye on to see exactly how they advance. I expect them to win the ACC tournament. And even if they don't, that's not going to deter me from really picking them to be playing in Omaha at the end of the season. But just watch. And if you look at the fun thing is if you just go to like their website and you go to the run totals that they've had, especially at the beginning of the year, like, you know, when you play those mid-major teams, you're supposed to beat them and run roll them.
Are you?
Supposed to. Here's their run totals through the first month, or mostly the first month of the year. 11, 27, 12, 25, 14, 10 in 7 innings. 6, 21 in 7 innings. 4, 17, 13, 14.
Give them a show. Give them what they came for.
Georgia Tech will do that. They'll do that, man. Their last loss, however, is against Mercer, but Mercer is 43-13. Ooh. Cinderella story.
Okay.
Just not even using this, not even a Gamecock coaching angle, but Cinderella story for college baseball postseason tournament. Keep an eye on Mercer. 43-13 and did win 12-9 in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. That's the team that's responsible for the last Georgia Tech loss.
It could be last year's Murray State.
Could be. And Murray State was a really good story last year.
They should have won that game. They lost too. The thing they barely lost to, was it Ole Miss in the elimination game?
They beat Ole Miss because they got to the College World Series.
That's right.
That's right. And then they got no hit by Gage Wood in Arkansas.
That's right.
I think in that elimination game, and that's kind of how they went out. But the fact that Murray State went to a College World Series is insane. Mercer, maybe, on Murray State, look-alike watch. In terms of Georgia, too, because Will Coggin is, out of all the assistant candidates that we've talked about, I think maybe the most well-equipped to be able to lead an SEC program. They did take 2 of 3 this weekend at Auburn. Only scored about 5 runs per game. They were low-scoring games, but they did take 2 of 3 against a very highly ranked Auburn team. Georgia cruised to winning the SEC regular season title. We'll see what they do in Hoover, but Georgia, another team that just absolutely clobbers the baseball.
It's important to note, and because Will is responsible for the offense.
Yes, that is his bag right there, is developing hitters. And if you just look at Georgia's team numbers, the power numbers specifically, they crush baseballs. I know a bag of baseballs hates to see the Georgia baseball team coming because they know they're about to get hit around the yard a lot. But coming up next, a little bit more of the graduation theme and Preston Thorne's observations from the weekend, because Thorne's Buds and Roses is next here on the early game.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. Shepherd's Glass. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studio. Herndon Chevrolet is your hometown dealer. Stop by today or shop online 24/7 at HerndonChevy.com.
Now, having to clean your carpet and take care of the air ducts by yourself stinks. Don't love it. Spring cleaning is not my favorite thing to do in the spring. I'd much rather be outside. But Zerorez, they rule because they can take care of that for you. And with spring cleaning kind of being in full swing here, you got to make sure the house is nice for the graduation parties, the family get-togethers, everything that you're going to do in terms of hosting here in the spring and in the summer, all starts with the preparation. The preparation starts with getting those carpets cleaned and fixing the air quality in your home with Zero-Res, because this month, in the month of May, you can get carpets cleaned for just $35 per room, and adding stairs for only $35 more. Take 50% off the standard price just by mentioning us, 1075 The Game, when you book online. Plus, you can take $50 off that air duct cleaning. All you got to do is just mention us and go to ZeroResColumbia.com to book today. Zero-Res. Spell it forwards or backwards. Just know it's the right way to clean.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because Rhino Shield is backed by a 25-year warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick. Put down that paintbrush and pick up your phone. Call Rhino Shield at 833-RHINO-99. Call now and receive 15% off the regular price. Or go to RhinoShieldCarolina.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
For your 15% off, call now, 833-RHINO-99. Or go to RhinoShieldCarolina.com.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV, sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass, shepherdsglass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia, The Game TV, sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Plus, text and title with approved credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new JT's Kias. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia, the sale to end all sales. JT's Kia, I-77 Killian Road or Greystone Boulevard. Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
For digital marketing that works, you need local expertise and national scale. Cumulus Digital provides hometown teams fueled by national support, serving over 4,000 businesses a month. Go to cumulusdigital.com. A short form is all it takes to get started.
It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson with another look at the traffic. We've got an accident in Lexington on I-20 eastbound after exit 58. And then we've got another accident here in Richland County in Elgin on Kelly Mill Road at Bombing Range Road. And then an accident in Kershaw County on White Pond Road at US 1 Jefferson Davis Highway. And we've got our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington County. It's 73 degrees right now. Sunny, feels like 79. It'll be in the 80s starting at 10 a.m. Coming up on the early game, it's Thorns, Buds, and Roses. Preston Thorne has a little bit of advice for you high school graduates and the families of high school graduates.
The Early Game with former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 1075 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
we covered a little bit of it in the morning meeting. We'll elaborate a little bit more for today's Thorns, Buds, and Roses.
It's time for Thorns, Buds, and Roses with Preston Thorne on the early game. 107.5 The Game.
All right, today's not going to be the day for Big Boy. Shout out to Outcast. We appreciate you every other week. But today we're going to go to our guy, Edgar. I forgot his last name already. Edgar.
One hit Edgar. One hit wonder Edgar.
Who produced this banger in 1800s. Oh, man.
I can tell you it's not Edgar Martinez.
It's not, even though he was really, really good.
He had a lot of hits.
Yes. Yes. What a great song. Pomp and Circumstance for those that are looking for it, or you can just type in the graduation song. We can go through the history. Our guy Edgar will come back as a winner. But for today's Pomp and Circumstance graduation edition of Thorns, Buds, and Roses, Thorn. I already told everybody to pack your patience. And I'm going to need you to double that because this is a two-sided thorn. One, stop with the air horns. We don't need them. You don't need to bring them.
Unnecessary.
They're not supposed to be there. You can make enough noise with your mouth, with your hands, with your feet, with whatever you have. But no, it's sort of like the SEC. We don't want any cowbells. We don't want any outside and illegal, unnecessary noises. As loud as you can get with your mouths is as loud as you get. But on the flip side of that, pack your patience. You don't know what these people have been through to get this child to graduate high school. And if they are cheering loudly, there's a chance that they have really, really worked to get this kid to graduate.
They didn't think they would see this day.
This is a moment. It is the cornerstone moment in American life. It's the one thing that we all sort of celebrate as a mark of achievement, and it's the step to the next step. So if somebody next to you is making a lot of noise, just say to yourself, I don't know what they went through to get here. I don't know what they went through to get here. I don't know what they went through to get here. And if you went through a lot to get here, don't bring an air horn, make a loud noise, yell their name, clap, scream, do all that. Thorns. Buds, hey kids, the world is waiting on you. Congratulations. This isn't your day. This is your parents' day. This is your family's day because they did everything to get you here. They wiped your nose. They sent you on field trips. They gave you that science project when you turned it in late.
When you asked for a poster board at 9 p.m. the night before it's due.
They did got you gym clothes, got you other gym clothes because you lost the ones that they got you yesterday. All of the things that had to be done to get you through high school, your parents and the people around them did it. So do not go on stage and do the dab or whatever it is.
Like my brother did.
Do not aura farm today. This is not the day for it because you had very little to do with getting here today. Unless in a special case, which you had everything to do with, and then congratulations to you. But majority of the folks that are walking across that stage, the path was laid for you.
Can we accept aura farming off the stage?
Aura farming well off the stage after you've shaken hands, after you've taken pictures, when you're with your crew, yes, but not on stage. Do not aura farm on the stage. Last but not least, 12 roses for everyone who's involved in this amazing endeavor to take a snotty-nosed, bratty little punk kid from kindergarten and see them through to the end. That's the teachers, that's the admin, the bus drivers, the janitors, the babysitters, the coaches, everybody who gets this young person to become an actual person by the end of this. Now, they have a long way to go, but you should all celebrate graduation. If you can't tell, graduation is my favorite time of year because it's the culmination of a billion things that have to go right to get this person across the stage. Everything has to go right in the midst of all these things that are going wrong. Puberty strikes, boyfriends, cut from the team, losing, winning, moving, divorce. All this stuff happens, and we still can get them across the stage. So congratulations to everybody involved. Remember, like I told you earlier, pack your patience and arrive early. Elijah, that is our graduation edition of Thorns, Buds, and Roses.
I love it. I love it now that we've established an aura farming rule.
Yes. Students, not today. I already told you all, everybody's stressed to the gills. Don't do it today. Today's not the day to decide, I'm going to dye my hair green. Not today.
No, it's not. You do it tomorrow. Don't do it today.
You do what you want on your own time.
It's also not the day that you decide to dab on stage. Is that right, Elijah Campbell?
That's right.
We are not dabbing on stage. Again, to be honest, if it was 2026 and you dab today, I might be like, oh, he's a throwback. This kid knows
it's looked as a throwback now. I can imagine what was going through the heads of the administrators. My brother gets his diploma and immediately just stops on stage just aura farming in the most 2016 way possible.
Again, today would be, they might do they might do the aura farm. They might do a little bit of that. Maybe you hit a 6-7 on stage. Not today. It's not, again, students, this is not your day. This is your parents' day. This is the teacher's day. Everybody else, you just shut up, put your hat on, walk across the stage, throw it up in the air when it's time, and then you can do all your stuff after. That's how graduation should work.
Just run the play.
Like
a lot of things.
A lot of times you just run the play. And I said it earlier, but if you did not hear me earlier, for those that are involved in graduations this week, the Colonial Life area will be packed all week, all day. There's like 3 graduations happening starting tomorrow, I believe, and they'll be going for the next 2 weeks. Avoid that area if you don't have any business down there. If you do have to go down there, early. If you're on time, you're late. Arrive early. Tom Coughlin time, Lou Holtz time. 20 to 30 minutes earlier than you think you need to be, because you have to park, you have to walk, you have to find seats, you have to find enough seats. There will be traffic. Everybody else is in the same stressed out position that you are, so take a little bit of that off and get there early. That's the advice from the early game.
And kiddos, you're going to your big sister, your big brother's graduation.
That's a big one.
Fall in line. Not the day to act up. It is not the day to aura farm in the car. It is not the day to have your parents have to tell you to do something multiple times, because they'll tell you something once, and if we get to number 2, it's not going to be in the same tone. Guaranteed.
Yeah, the normal, like, hey, put your shoes on, put your shoes on. You normally think like, all right, they're not going to do nothing. I usually can get about 3 of these out of them before my parents start to say something. It's not going to be that this week. You will get one, and then the second one, you might be ducking a backhand coming at you or something like that.
Oh, it's a Kentucky basketball player under John Calipari. It's one and done, son. That's it. There will be no second time.
First time listening is paramount for the younger siblings this week. It's a big week for you, too. You don't know it. You don't know what's going on, but we're telling you, Elijah is telling you, run the play.
Run the play.
Everybody run the play this week.
You can act silly at the graduation party or whatever it is that you're hosting for your sibling afterwards. Fall in line. Run the play. Now is not the time.
We will all breathe a lot easier once this person is across the stage. Everybody will take a deep breath, and then we can go to wherever we're going after that. But everything leading up to and including graduation, stressful.
Very.
Act accordingly. Don't say Preston didn't warn you.
We've done it twice now on the show.
We've done it twice. From here on out, we're just giving shout-outs to the grads. But I'm letting you know that graduation is a stressful event. Everybody's around. Last but not least, arrive early. Have a plan for the elderly and the children.
Yes.
Maybe the same plan. Where are we sitting? Where's the restroom? Snacks for everybody? How far is this walk? You need to have all that thinking about. And try and take some pictures of your kid that's graduating too.
Yes. Get as many of those, or if you know somebody that is closer than you are, just send them a text. Hey, can you take a picture when they get up there? Because in certain arenas, if you're graduating from a school that does their graduations at like CLA, seating can be hard. Good viewing can be hard to come by. If you know somebody, say, hey, can you snap a picture of your kid while you're up there? Dude. Tell them not to hit the dab while they're up there either.
It's a busy time for CLA, I just realized. You had WWE on Friday. I guess there was a Don Toliver concert last night, and now you got graduation all weeks.
Journey's there tonight, too, I think.
CLA is cracking.
It's going hard.
I like it.
Yeah, it is. CLA, winner, early winner.
Maybe.
The Colonial Life Arena, I think so.
Maybe.
Coming up next, it's time for the early game third long hour to go deep. This week, we're talking about program turnarounds. Part 1 today.
Where do you even start? A lot of this is going to have to do with the South Carolina baseball team, but we'll take a look at some historic precedent next here on the early game.
Wow, what a play! The Game Network. Columbia, Charleston, Florence, and Myrtle Beach.
We have a new way for you to call the AAA Heating and Air phone lines. Just dial pound 250, and when prompted, punch in the keywords, the game. And that's it. Again, pound 250 with the keywords, the game.
Sponsored by SC Education Lottery. Did you know that since 2002, over $9.4 billion in lottery proceeds have been appropriated to benefit educational causes in South Carolina, like scholarships, school buses, and technology initiatives? Playing for fun is a win for education. Visit sceducationlottery.com/educationwins for more information.
Discover the Griffin difference. Griffin Pools and Spas is your headquarters for family fun and outside enjoyment. We offer Latham fiberglass pools, Imperial vinyl pools, above-ground pools, spas by Bullfrog, Marquee, Tropic Season Generations, and swim spas. The Big Green Egg, all things Yeti and Turtlebox Gen 3, Ranger, and Grande Bluetooth speakers. We sell fun. Come see us and get summer ready today. Discover the Griffin difference. Family owned and operated for 50 years.
Griffin Pools and Spas. We make you feel good.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor, call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation. Mount Valley Foundation Services is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Want to unlock the power of athlete marketing to grow your business? Garnet Trust has recently launched a business membership program, making it easier than ever for your business to work directly with a USC student athlete. Visit garnettrust.com today or call 803-250-1765 to see your business boom.
Plus tax and title with approved credit. Call 888-320-6359 for details. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia. We're slashing prices like there's no tomorrow. JT has helped hundreds escape the zombie horde in brand new JT's Kias. 0% financing and a 1,000,000-mile warranty. JT always pays an unbelievable amount more for your trade. It's the Carpocalypse at JT's Kia. The sale to end all sales. JT's Kia, I-77 Killian Road or Greystone Boulevard. Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event.
It starts the second you wake up. How much time do I have? What can I grab? Will one thing even cut it? That's why McDonald's 2 for $5 Mix and Match hits the spot. Like a sausage McMuffin with egg, a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with Applewood smoked bacon, and now the Egg McMuffin with a freshly cracked egg is part of the 2 for $5 lineup. Add any size iced coffee for $2. 1 handles breakfast, 2 handles mornings. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Gamecock Nation, it's getting hot in here. And at Gamecock Traditions, they're turning up the heat with 30% off sweats all May long. That's right, hoodies, crews, and more. Now 30% off. Whether you're gearing up for cool mornings, late night tailgates, or just repping the Cox in style, now is the time to stock up and save big. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Gamecock Traditions. For Gamecocks, by Gamecocks. Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Elijah Campbell here from 107.5 The Game, and spring cleaning meets hosting season with Zerorez. Get carpets cleaned for just $35 per room, and stairs are now only $35 too. Plus, take $50 off that air duct cleaning by mentioning 107.5 The Game. Look now at ZerorezColumbia.com and get guest ready today.
Looking for a truck dealership that treats you like family? Come to Herndon Chevrolet, your truck headquarters, proudly serving Lexington and the Midlands for over 50 years. Whether you're after a brand new Silverado, a tough pre-owned truck, or expert service, you'll find it all right here with a huge selection and the best truck deals around. There's no better place to shop. Visit HerndonChevy.com or stop by today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile, smile.
Powered by Integrated Media. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. For auto, home, and commercial glass. ShepherdsGlass.com. In Chapin and West Columbia. The Game TV. Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass. It's the Game Network Traffic Report from the Schroeder's Towing Traffic Center. Broken down and need a tow or even free signage for your lot? Dial pound 250 and use keyword tow truck today.
This is Cale Wilson with another look at the traffic. Starting off, we have an accident in Irmo with an accident on I-26 after Broad River Road, exit 101. And we still have our accident in Elgin on Kelly Mill Road at Bombing Range Road. Got an accident in Richland on Leesburg Road at Garner's Ferry. And another one in Richland on Leesburg Road near Fairman Drive. Then an accident in Lexington County on Platte Springs Road at South Lake Drive. And then an accident in Kershaw County on White Pond Road at Highway 1. And then our long-term road construction in Richland, Horry, and Lexington County.
The early game with former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen on the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and at the Game TV radio on YouTube.
Before the early game third long hour goes deep, I do want to read this text on the Firehouse Subs text line. This is from Greg from Leesville. It says, man, do it the first time reminds me of an SNL skit. Will Ferrell tells the kids to get off the shed at a cookout. It gets progressively more aggressive each time. So funny. My dad would go to the behind at 2, or the first time if you had heard it before at any point in your life. As a result, thankfully, I've never gone to jail as a teen or adult. Raising kids is an all-in activity, not something you watch from the side.
It's everybody's got to be on. Everybody's got to be on this one. But yes, young folks, if you're listening, if you're in the car and you're being held, do it the first time, especially around major stressful events. You got to just play your part.
That fuse is going to be a lot shorter than it ever has been.
We was listening. This might be another list we need to come up with. I was just thinking, going to a game. This was supposed to be a lot of fun for everybody involved, but the parking stuff, I just paid $10 for a drink, and you say you didn't want these French fries because they're soggy? What?
And all you talked about coming into the stadium was wanting French fries, and now you don't want them?
Just relax.
I would get hit with it. That's too bad.
I would just say for any young person, just know your parents. KYP.
Yeah.
Just know their looks, know their breathing, just know when the meter's rising and back off.
Let this be a perfect practice example of reading the room, and it will benefit you well the older you get.
Correct.
There was a period of time where whenever I acted up, well, not a period of time, really, most of my childhood, where all my dad had to do was give me a look.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that if anything else happened, that I was going to be disciplined. We'll just say that.
Fair.
Yes. And you know what? You're around your parents enough, you know when the look is. I am 31 years old, and if either of my parents give me a specific look, we're shutting it down. The bit stops right there.
Still to this day.
To this day, the bit stops. No more oral farming because they've had enough of it. They've had enough of you. But we haven't had enough of the early game third and long hour goes deep because today's part one. We haven't had enough yet because we're just starting. But when it comes to turning around a program, there are different angles to look at this. And the first place is the obvious question of where do you start, right? South Carolina baseball is in an interesting spot because you have a lot of history, but you don't have a lot of recent history. And you've reached new all-time lows that have now made your program look a whole lot different than it did a decade ago, a decade plus ago when you were winning back-to-back national titles and playing for a third straight, right? Things look a lot different, and it's a lot more of a turnaround now than it had to be even 2 years ago, right, when Paul Maneria was first hired to be the head baseball coach at South Carolina. But what are the other instances where a new coach can come in and turn a program around instantly, right? Or maybe even over time. The couple of examples that popped in my mind, obviously Lou Holtz with the football program here locally is a good example. But when Kurt Cignetti went to Indiana, he changed the attitude with Indiana football, and you saw this increasingly large emphasis on fundamentals. Like this past year, they fumbled the ball in the opening drive against Old Dominion. They did not fumble for the rest of the season. The entire season, they did not lose a fumble.
That's pretty wild.
One of my favorite YouTube videos that you can find is called The Miracle in Manhattan, about Bill Snyder taking over Kansas State and how decrepit that program was. They were on a 38-game losing streak. Nobody wanted that job.
Well, obviously, because I think it's in the middle of nowhere, and Bill Snyder's sort of a mild-mannered type of guy, I don't think he gets the props that he really deserves as maybe one of the best, if not the best, college football coach period.
Yes.
And it's just because of his temperament and the school that he was at, but he's amazing, obviously.
And what he did to turn them into a perennial 90s contender is nothing short of remarkable, considering how the program was when he took it over in the late 80s. But one thing he did, and when you watch that video, it's about 55 minutes long, highly recommend it, is that he changed everything in the facility. They changed the way they did weights. They did weed out programs where they made the workout so difficult. They made it so unenjoyable that if you weren't really committed to be there and turn the thing around, they were going to weed you out and send you home.
Right.
And they go into such good depth there. I thought that was a perfect example. And then also with facilities, everything like that. You look at Mario Cristobal at Miami, where they were a program that their glory days were 20-plus years behind them. He comes in and is an immediately elite recruiter, brings in the talent, and they figure it out from there, and they ultimately get to culminate a special season that results in a national championship game appearance.
I think Mario Cristobal is the one that's, to me, maybe more comparable to Gamecock baseball, just because of the prime that they had in the past. Maybe, and I'm sorry to say this because I'm one of them, overinflated sense of self because of the past, thinking that, you know, you should be included in these elite conversations when maybe you're not actually there, but brought in somebody to bring them back, starts relying on the tried and true history of the program, because that wasn't necessarily a thing at Miami. I think there's some parallels between those two universities as far as the situations that they're in.
And then I think the big thing is that I could just notice with Cristobal, I can't really maybe speak to behind the scenes stuff, but he was known as a great recruiter, recruited incredibly well at Oregon, was able to build some awesome rosters at Oregon. And I think he needed to evolve a little bit as an in-game manager. He had a couple of gaffes that will never be forgotten, right? Like the Georgia Tech game where all you got to do is take a knee and you win the game, and they end up finding a way to lose it. I think Mario had to evolve a little bit as a coach over time, but he did lay a foundation of bringing in the adequate talent that was required to win. So if there's anything I think you can take from that example, it's the accumulation of talent that maybe sets Miami football apart when it comes to having a blueprint to revive a program that is kind of lost in its past.
Well, when you talk about the accumulation of talent, it's obvious that that was not done here with Gamecock baseball. When you look at where the recruiting stands right now, where it's been, where it was last year, I didn't realize this until I was reading that it fell out of the top 100.
Ugh.
That should be impossible.
At a place like this.
And currently they're at like in the range of 40 to 60 for the next two classes. That's unacceptable. Fortunately, the recruiting coordinator will no longer be here, and that's going to be happening. So the idea of bringing in an elite recruiter to accumulate talent is something that's going to happen. And also, what Mario Cristobal did was built sort of that fence around Miami. Going back old school, like Howard Schnellenberger, not doing anything different, but just rebuilding that idea. Because, oh, yeah, there's this guy named Malachi Toney that's right in our backyard.
Overlooked by everybody.
Nobody else wants him. We'll take him, and we'll show you what to do with that. I believe that same process could play out here with Gamecock baseball.
It certainly could. There are some overlooked players. I think Walker Mitchell is one of the best examples. As a kid that played over at River Bluff, was on a team with Bo Hollins in high school that won a state title. Bo comes to South Carolina. Walker goes to Coastal. You lose that recruiting battle. I don't know how in they were on him, but he was a starting infielder on a team that went and played for the national championship, right? Clearly paid dividends. That's clearly a kid that can play at the highest level of college baseball, and it wasn't like he was, a scrub on that team. He was hitting at the top of the order. I was covering that team in their playoff run when I was working for the Lexington Chronicle, thinking that kid could play high-level UM baseball. Like, Coastal got him a good one. Right? You can land more of those kids. Don't let the best talent in your state, which has a lot of baseball talent, leave your state. Make your place the destination for it to come to. Maybe that emphasis could change a lot of things.
And that has to be something that the new person coming in, has to understand and emphasize. The previous staff did not, and that was clear.
Yeah, and that maybe, if we're trying to find parallels, maybe Miami football is the closest thing, because maybe a little hyperbolic to compare them to Kansas State, because they showed video of what their weight room looked like in the late 80s. Buddy, it's archaic. They're lifting stones in that weight room, man. It was pretty disgusting, but that only makes Bill Snyder's turnaround even more impressive. It was a winner of a turnaround. We'll give you our winners for today's show, brought to you by the Golden Spur. Next.
All my sports. The Game Network. 107.5 The Game in Columbia. 96.9 The Game in Charleston. 100.3 The Game in Myrtle Beach. And 100.5 The Game in Florence.
Hey, this is Preston here from 107.5 The Game and the Game Network. If you run a diner, bakery, coffee shop, burger joint, pizza spot, or that hidden gym that everybody should know about, how would you like to get the word out about your business without spending a dime? Well, we got you. All you have to do is text your name, your business, your phone number to 803-404-6100, and we'll be in touch. There is no catch. Times are tough, but we're here to help you and your business.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Guess who's back? Aaron Rodgers. It took him long enough to decide so, but now he will be a Pittsburgh Steeler next year and likely the Steelers' starting quarterback under Mike McCarthy. Only problem is he's old, and his stats last season mirrored Jacoby Brissett's. Is that what you want? He's 42. Whatever. I'm Drake Toll.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
If you are struggling with substance abuse, alcohol, pills, whatever it may be, first of all, it's nothing to be ashamed of. We know addiction is a brain disease, and we also know getting into recovery can be tough. Also, in case this helps, I want to tell you about a new study out of Harvard School of Public Health, which found that spiritual belief, the idea of a steady religious practice, had a protective effect from addiction. Experts we talked to told us there were probably a few reasons why this might be the case. Number one, excessive drug and alcohol use would not be the norm in a religious community, and people want to fit in. 2, a belief in a higher power provides people with hope and solace, great foils for addiction. And 3, and I think there's some merit to this, regular attendance in a faith community also provides connection. Just like in AA, camaraderie and social support is often what you need. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
The Early Game. With former Gamecocks Preston Thorne, Elijah Campbell, and Jen Jensen. On the Game Network, 107.5 Game app, and the Game TV radio on YouTube.
That it is about the team. Can I
winners.
And every day we give you our Winners of the Day show, brought to you by the Golden Spur. And, you know, I think the easy winner here is time and place.
Yes.
If you're going to act up, don't do it in a high-stress situation as a kid.
Now is not the time nor the place.
Graduation, not the time and place.
Don't do it. After graduation, cool.
Act up.
All the time leading up to graduation. That includes the house. That includes getting dressed. That includes the car ride. That includes sitting in line, sitting in your chair. Everything involved up until the end of the ceremony for your personal sakes. I'm talking to the kids out here. Be on your best behavior.
Airports also.
Airports, big one.
Huge one. High stress situation.
A lot of kids get snatched up at the airport.
Airports. I'm gonna be dealing with the amazing airport on Saturday.
Which one?
I'm starting at Columbia and then I'm going to Charlotte. And then
layover city.
Yes.
Population Kale.
Going to visit my grandparents in Michigan.
I'm going to give a winner to keep in theme. I'm going to give a winner to the assistant principal who gets tasked with having to say all the names at graduation.
Not for the faint of heart.
What a tough job.
Not for the faint of heart.
You got to read the cards. You got to go over the pronunciations. This is a tough spot. So for all of those folks out there who are announcing the names, you are a winner.
You are. And you have to be fearless.
Yes, and just say it with confidence and just I know it's spelled phonetically on the list, but is that an S or is it plural? I don't know what's going on here.
For an exchange student, and maybe there's different phonetic rules.
I feel your pain. So everybody announcing names at graduation, you're a winner.
Colonial Life Arena, big winner. Big winner.
Don Tolliver can pack out the Colonial Life Arena?
It was packed yesterday. I was going to meet up with a buddy of mine to watch Game 7 of Pistons-Cavs. He's a big Pistons fan. So we were going to meet up and watch the game. We were going to go to Thirsty Fellow, and I show up at like 7:30, and I see the cones out in front of the arena. I was like, oh, something's there tonight. And then there's a lot of people walking. I was like, oh, no, we have to go somewhere else. Abort mission. I'm not paying $10 to park to go eat dinner and watch an NBA
Tolliver.
game.
I would have, okay. I didn't realize.
Pulled it off.
Sorry, was not aware of your game, sir.
Wasn't familiar with your game.
I mean, I'm familiar, but I didn't think CLA style. But cool. Shout out to Don Tolliver.
Yeah, journey tonight, and then graduations, all throughout weekend. CLA is a busy place, and it is bumping. It is a winner. That's why they build it.
We would be remiss in not mentioning our favorite. I think today we officially signed the paperwork. It's official. We have adopted the early game's favorite hockey player, and his name is?
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
That's correct.
Goalie for the Sabres. Now, they've had that whole goalie conundrum where they have just been using both Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen and Andrew Lyon, or Alex Lyon, back and forth pretty frequently. When one has a bad start, they'll put the other one in. Lindy Ruff, the head coach of the Sabres, does not care about the confidence of either player. You will be used at my disposal whenever I say you will be used. And in Game 6 with the season on the line, they get down 3-1 on the road in Montreal. Lyon gets pulled from the game after getting the start. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen comes in, faces 18 shots on net, stops all 18. The Sabres decide to put 7 biscuits in the basket. They win 8-3 and force a Game 7 tonight.
That's pretty impressive.
It's pretty fun.
Keenan Raiders, stand up, because one of your own came home in triumphant return. Trick Williams comes home for Tyler SmackDown, was it? For SmackDown, and is given a king's welcome. Not only does he have Cocky with him, which we feel like that might, well, we said this has happened one time in 2006, I believe, and this is the second time in history Cocky has made an appearance. And also, but he's never made an appearance with Little Yachty holding the South Carolina jersey. So, I mean, a lot of things were going on at one time.
Lil Yachty, winner. Your prime's not over yet.
Still around.
Still around.
Still in the league.
Still hanging in there. Cold like Minnesota, still a banger.
It would be really cool if Trick Williams' theme song just got played kind of like everywhere, especially during football season. Like, especially when Keenan during football season does their entrance, they entered Trick Williams theme song.
That probably should be something they need to
adopt
get on. That's something they need to get on.
Yeah,
got to adopt it. Chance we see Trick Williams as a celebrity starter for the game at Williams-Brice this year?
I would say 100%.
I would say, yeah, those odds are minus 5,000. Don't bet on it because you won't win any money. You will win 1 cent. Congratulations. Those are our winners for today's show, always brought to you by the Golden Spurs. Shout out Mike Singletary. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Tyler Head and Jack Veltri, the Extra Point. They're always winners. They're next. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studio.